What's up, guys? Welcome back. It is time for us to get straight into the 11th season of the Mettlestate Pro Series. A little bit of that PUBG mobile action about to make its way onto the screen once again. And of course, this time around, we do have a few changes coming in. In fact, this time around, we are going to be stepping out into a little bit of that TPP action instead of the usual FPP that we've been going at for, well, 10 seasons long. So it is going to be a little bit of excitement to come through here. But let's see where the teams are going to be going in towards as we are getting ready for our very first lobby to be starting. Just making sure that everyone makes their way into their necessary slots and gets everything cooked and loaded. But of course, as you can see, I'm not alone. With me is going to be Mr. Vector. How are you doing today?
Awesome. I'm excited to get this ball rolling, DK. I mean, you've sent me the list of teams, and I am so excited. I mean, I know all of these teams OP, so let's get this ball rolling. Metal State Season 11. I'm glad to be
Oh,
here. Thank
yes.
you.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's going to be quite exciting to see what everyone's going to be bringing out and who will be the ones to step up. Just double checking that everything is working.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
All good, all
All
good.
right, but either way, we are going to be getting ready to move, and so we are going to be starting the lobby. Just got a one or two players just trying to squeeze themselves into the right positions here. I think with that, maybe everything should be good to go. So we are going to be starting the lobby. That means there's going to be a few seconds, and of course, we're also then going to be making our way into our very first match, right? It is going to be over on towards Erangel. Okay, so we're going to be um, keeping it 1 minute because we've got a few players still looking to trickle on through. But now,
Yeah,
Victor, this is where, so we watched the previous season of Metal State as well, right? The team's
yeah.
really stepping up to the plate, bringing in some pretty interesting performance. And last season, we did see the players there from Team EFX actually being the team to
Ooh.
pick up the victory, right? They were the ones that won the previous
Yeah,
season of the Pro Series. Then were the players there from Slime 4KT coming into a very close second, only 14 points separating those two teams.
ooh,
And then, of
wow.
course, we had the players there from Team Apex who stepped up into that third
Nice.
position. But now, what's interesting about this season is we've got a few returning teams
Mm,
looking to kind of defend their positions. But also, then we've got a few new teams stepping up to the plate as well. So we got the players
Yeah,
there from Six Gaming, we've got Uso Crimson, as well as the players from Prophecy Esports. We've got Reluctant SA, and then also we've got the players coming through from the side
beautiful.
of the Predators. So
Yeah,
it is a decent lineup coming through with regards to the
yeah.
teams. So we are going to be starting the lobby now, as we've been waiting our minute that that we were asked to wait. So we are going to be making their way through. All right, so it is time for a little bit of that early action, potentially maybe. As we make our way on towards Erangel. Of course, as we know, right, in true Middle State fashion, we are going to be kind of alternating between Erangel and Miramar. So after this match, heading straight over into the desert to see what the teams will bring in with two
Nice.
back-to-back maps on that front. And of course, then closing it up once again right back over on towards Erangel. Now, speaking of which, it is going to be time for us to make our way in towards the game. So we are going to be taking a little bit of a look to see what the teams are going to be bringing through, and of course what that flight path is going to be bringing us as well. As we now jump right across, that flight path being a few seconds away, about only 20 seconds or so remain. And then we can get straight into the action. So any predictions as to where the flight path is going to go?
Any predictions? Well,
Mm.
normally I would say that the flight path is usually kind in game number one. So I would love to see a little bit of a kind plane flight coming through, maybe from west to east, just allow everybody to get settled into game number one. But there we go, and let it be. Starting off at Stalber, ending off at my favorite place, Novo. The entire west is off limits. I mean, unless you're going to do the one thing that we all know, if you want to try and get yourself out of trouble, get in a vehicle, get as far out as possible. We do know we always get our one or two teams that prefer those open areas towards the Gatka Quarry
Mm.
side as well. But I mean, a lot of hard drops right down below the playing fight right over here, DK.
Hot drops and hot drops, right? There's going to be several to choose from as the teams now continue to make their way on through. I mean, already a relatively interesting start with that flight path being a little bit more focused on towards the eastern side of the map.
Yeah.
We see the players there from EFX already now starting to push across, looking to get themselves situated up in towards the usual drop location, which is, of course, none other than Saverni. So nothing really too surprising there. But we are
Mm.
going to be looking at the rest of our teams. We can see, unfortunately, this time we only started with 10 teams in the lobby.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see more teams joining us in, as we, of course, have 16 teams in total. But we are
Oh.
going to be making our way on through, and 10 teams means that there's going to be a little bit of a quicker map to come through, as the teams, are not going to have to fight it out that much to get themselves
Mhm.
situated in a good looting position.
It's all about the chill ball here in game number one, I would say. I mean, 16 teams, six squads. That's, I mean, a total of what is that? 6, 12, 18, 24 elims that won't be up for grabs. That means so I don't know if it's only going to be for game number one, but it means a lot for these players that managed to pull through here for game number one, because that means, I mean, I'm a firm believer in you put your best foot forward from the very beginning, and I've seen that happen with many games. The teams usually that put their best foot forward at the very beginning, they put the gap between the points between all the other teams and players as well. You'll see them actually trying to then just to stay consistent. And I
Mm.
was hoping to see something that here tonight, see somebody in the lead by far, and see if they can carry it through all the way to the end. No. Previously, it didn't happen. It was more of a continuous staying there in the top three by EFX. So well done by them. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen this season around.
Yep, yep, and of course we're already jumping into like a early fourth zone,
Yeah.
a little bit bigger fourth zone, as we could see the teams now just going about their business. Everybody going to be looking to find a decent position to get themselves started on. But as we can see, right, two teams already making that push down on towards Sosnovka Island. We got the players there from the side of, I think that is, well, I want to get the name right. Yeah, well, it's Whitey. I know that there's some name changes that we've seen come in as well.
True,
But
true.
we got the players there from Whitey and Rila Insider now trying to get themselves
Ooh.
situated closer on towards that more western bridge position, with the players there from Deset Flame still going to be holding on to their usual, tried and tested kind of position over on towards that farm area. So several interesting players could be making their way on through. Of course, we are going to be jumping straight over on towards the players here now from the side of Rila Insider to see what they're going to be bringing to the battlefield. They are going to be going up alongside the players here from Whitey, so we could have some early game fights.
Indeed, and we do have a split between both teams, Rila Insider and Whitey. We see the two backup Trip and Slay making their way in now, slowly but surely, because, I mean, they expected no company. However, Whitey is there. Whitey will look like they are going to evacuate the area, not looking for an early battle. So I was interested to see what exactly the choices were going to be made. I mean, are they going to go into a battle at the very beginning this early? I mean, it would be exciting. However, you want to last towards the end. You want to get
Mm.
yourself the double digits, at the top points towards the top three at the end of the game, at least. So it looks like that is the plan for Whitey. They will be leaving that spot where they found themselves with Rila Insider. And I'm expecting to see a bit of that throughout the game. At least,
Mm.
obviously, till we are forced to meet each other when the zone, forces you to battle.
Yeah, for the time being, it's just going to be, the usual kind of looting phase. We do have a
Yeah.
little bit of a push coming down on towards that southern edge with the players there from Sincerity. Now, just inching their way a little bit closer onto the players there from, I believe that is the Prophets, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that is Prophecy, all the way down to that far southern edge. So we could see a little bit of an exploratory mission coming through on that end.
Mm.
But, of course, right, we're only expecting the teams to really start hitting the action once we get into those much later phases.
Yeah, that would be an awesome battle at Sosnovka. Talking about Prophecy as well as Sincerity. So Prophecy being the squad that's coming in new year into season 11. Sincerity being one of the teams that were they featured in season 10. They managed to get themselves in 8th spot
Mm.
in season 10 as well. So a lot to prove for them. And I mean, if a battle does go down, whether it's at the bridge or further in towards the farm area, that will be one exciting battle to watch.
Yeah, so all we can do for now is just sit,
Sit
wait.
back, yeah.
Yeah, look at everybody making their way around the map here, as we can see Fate now exploring all the way down towards the Nova crates alongside the rest of the team. So, I mean, I do think that the teams are going to be at least in a very good setup once they get
Indeed.
into those later stages, right? Because they've had more than ample opportunity now to go out, get themselves locked and loaded, get ready for whatever situation they think could be coming up next. We can see Fate now Just picking up a lovely 3-time scope there. We got
Lekker, man.
a level
Nice.
3 bag. Oh, but he's already... No, he doesn't have one. Go back, go back. It's there. It's there. You know,
the,
priorities, right? Priorities. Like,
the
I would
level 3
obviously be...
helmet might just,
Ooh,
it might just be a little bit too thick. I don't think he
well,
saw through it there. I think it's
that's going to be a nice setup, though, right? It's got the mini, got
yeah.
the M4, it's got the 8 scope, the 3
Ooh.
scope. I mean, what more do you need, right? In my
Yeah.
opinion, that is a pretty ideal kind of setup, especially putting that 8 scope on the mini. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll just make that thing sing like it's you know, like it's someone's birthday or something like that.
Happy birthday to you, to the opponent, whoever will be getting shot at with that mini. I mean, that is one hell of a combination of, well, a choice of weapons that he chose over there. Considering also, I mean, that is something that I've used to be, I would expect to see on a Miramar map, but coming through with a mini and bringing just the new exciting type of gameplay. I mean, it is a squad that has been entered now into the pro series here, so let's see what they can do with the mini against our usual suspects, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Only time will tell, right? That is
Yeah.
all we can say for now, because everyone just respecting the plethora of loot options that they've got, so they are going to be going about their business, grabbing some loot before looking to start rotating a little bit further up in towards the zone. But everyone is just, you know, taking it cool, calm, and collected. So I definitely think once we get into those later few phases, that is when things are really going to start to heat up quite considerably. But we could potentially see something now coming through between the players here from Six Gaming, as well as the players here from Team Apex, right? We got Kage and crew now just pushing a little bit further forward. Six, of course, perched up in towards those buildings. And this is where Apex are having to play this one a little bit more cautiously, right? Because coming in, they've only got 2 players, right? That's it. It is Pordo and it is Kage, right? So whatever happens to them, that's it. So they need to be super cautious as to how they make their plays out on this map.
Indeed, I mean, amongst all the teams, we expect to see a lot of defensive gameplay from them. Exactly what we saw over there, just getting themselves out of trouble. Sincerity eSports. Was that Sin? No. Let me just move back to that. Six Gaming coming in there, taking shots, just being a lot more on the front foot, looking for an engagement. However, unluckily, it was the squad with 2 members in, so I don't think we will see a fight between the 2 teams over there. You know what? It's going to be a little bit of a long one if it continues like this. The beginning of the games, at least. But one thing I do know is the players themselves. They will be happy when it comes to this, because you want to get into any engagement with all your level 3 gear. You want to have the weapons that you desire the most, and that will get you on the front foot with anything towards the end, you know, so that you can actually work as the unit as you've been trained for. Otherwise, you know, I mean, we've seen so many players jumping down odd drops where you find yourself with so many other teams, or at least 1 or 2 other teams, where you get into an engagement and then there you go, back to the lobby very early in the game, but that's not the case here in game number 1. So I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Nobody has an excuse here going into the next few phases.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd love to hear from our viewers, right? The people that we got watching back home. Let us know, who do you think will be the teams to clutch it out in this lobby? We've got a little bit of a taste almost of some shots getting fired across. We are still sitting with all 36 players up, alive, and ready to rumble. But of course, this is a quick look at our teams that we've got. Let me maybe just take that map off. I think that makes it just a little smidge easier to see all the names. Right, nice. So we got the players here from, so we got Six Gaming, we've got the players coming through from the side there of Deset Flame, EFX, of course, we got the players from Apex, we got the YT, we got Rila Insider, we got Sincerity, we got SIDEMEN, then of course we've got Prophecy, and then last but not least, we got the players there from the Predators, also represented in the lobby here. So a few interesting teams that we could be looking at. But of course, speaking about interesting, right, we did have another zone shift to come through, which the teams will have to work their way into. As you can see already, Sincerity and the players there from the side of Rila Insider already getting into, well, really close proximity. Not really starting any engagements just yet, but I'm liking the shift coming through from the zone, taking us a little bit more down to that southern position.
Indeed, that means we've got some water, we've got another island to work with. I mean, I would bet that it's definitely not going to end up at the military island side. However, I mean, looking at all of the players, all of the teams already, it's just two more from YT that still needs to get in there, and they will be looking to just find their spot in the zone and just clutch it over there until the next zone gets decided. That's surely what we're going to see over here. We still got 10 teams remaining. Not a single elim coming through, maybe 3 or 4 shots coming through there early on. And I also do want to mention, you were talking about something interesting, is the fact that we've got a TPP battle going on this time. With the players asked for it, and this time, so that changes things so much, DK, so much.
Oh,
From
yes.
FPP to TPP. So
Oh, yes.
I'm expecting to see a lot more hardcore clutching coming through this.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean that's kind of expected, right? That's what
Yeah.
we want to see come through here. The teams being presented with the opportunity to play it out in a little bit of that TPP action. Of course, we know that this is also then the method that they use in the big official events, right? So
Yes.
it makes sense to see the teams now stepping out and having a bit of a swing at the third-party plays, but that also opens up another different can of worms, right? As we see over
Yeah.
into CPP, right? There is a lot more dynamics that come along with that. The players have the ability to not only third-party peek it, but it does bring in with it quite a few other additional changes in
Yeah.
comparison to the
Yeah.
usual FPP that we've been seeing.
Indeed, the decision making coming through from the IGL, especially, they would have a much better view of what is going on if the rest of the team are in a little bit of a situation. I mean, the point of view is just so much better when it comes to TPP, when it comes to making those decisive decisions, at least, that would normally get you into the world of nonsense if you are caught up in an FPP CQC situation. So it's a little bit more IQ play, gameplay would come through here, and that is expected, like you said. And I can't wait to see what is going to happen. What's going to go down? Who will have the better clutch between whatever two teams that we will be keeping on our eyes on? Then we've got, I mean, moving over to the Slayer, just taking shots, taking the doors down over there.
Yeah,
and
it's
and I,
just playing knock knock, right? Why
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Because it's that time of the day, right? You're waiting for fights, you're waiting for engagements, while Six is now getting ready to swing through on towards
Ooh.
Superior off in the distance, right? We have Slay sitting there playing knock knock, right? He's not going to come running up to the door as you would do IRL,
Uh,
right? Or back in the days where you could actually still do that. Today, it's a little bit more risky.
Yeah, it's a lot more risky, especially if you're going to be doing it with a DP, DK. That wouldn't be
Oh,
knock knock.
yes.
That will be boof boof. He's looking for trouble. He's looking for trouble. He's looking for some action, I would say. Just fighting his DP out. We know the DP doesn't have a suppressor on. So I mean, he's up there on the hill taking his shots. Maybe looking for an engagement for one or two teams from either side. Looks like all the players. We got Six Squad doing a couple of punches here on the roof as well. Just making sure he's keeping an eye on every angle. I think all the teams just waiting for the next zone to come in so that they can get in the vehicle, as we do see Miyagi taking a shot. So slowly but surely we'll see now. A lot of the teams, they will come into view. Yeah, obviously the zone is shrinking, and I am excited to see which way it's going to go and who's going to be doing the gatekeeping, who's going to be doing the rushing, trying to get into that zone. It should or might even go down within the next phase.
It could. I mean, and
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what
Highly
Miyagi
likely.
is going to show us here because, right, I want to see that wax on, wax off play coming through, right? I've been waiting so long for that, so who knows? Maybe today could be the day where Master Miyagi teaches us and shows us their way of
Yep.
just getting super aggressive and finding a few things. But interesting that we've got here as well as aside from Mr. Miyagi, we've got Lynx, we've got the no brained. There we go. And as well as Kuza. So there's some interesting options with regards to names as that zone has now just moved a little bit closer towards that main island, but still being inclusive of that southern position. And we can see now Mr. Miyagi really needing to get those wax gloves out as the shots are starting to come through Trip and the rest of the players there from Rila Insider starting to send it in. But we also then see the players there from Whitey actually pulling up right alongside the players from Rila Insider. So it could be quite an interesting position coming through now as these teams are really starting to converge down on towards each other with Skull trying to get themselves a little bit better situated. But this is going to be the opportunity for those great range sprays now to make their way on through.
Yep, we're going to see a hell of a lot of sprays coming through from every angle because it looks like majority of the teams there in the circle over here that we are looking at, they are in a range, and all what they need is some hard cover, and then they can do their thing for now at least. Whitey, yeah, you mentioned Whitey nearly running into Rila Insider once again. I mean, we started off a game with a Whitey Rila Insider jump and almost ending it off there with one of the players from Whitey nearly getting himself in a little bit of trouble, but we've got Sleepy that has been knocked, and it is SIDEMEN that is one man down so far. He's not gone though. He's not back to the lobby. He can be saved. It's going to be interesting what Hunter decides to do. Here we go. Gets in the vehicle. Ooh, another knock coming through. Going to be a tough one over here. Can be anyone's game going up against. Is that team number 13? Would that be Sincerity ESports? Ooh, Sincerity ESports versus SIDEMEN. I am going to go SIDEMEN for this one. DK, I'm just going to call it. SIDEMEN, Sincerity, they do have one man down. The boy with the play with the DP. There we go. They got the revive up. Sleepy's back up on his feet. That is excellent news. They've got the smoke. They've got the cover. They've got the rock. They've got the vehicle as well. So time to move, time to get a different angle up on them and just see what. I'm curious to see what they are going to do. Are they going to engage? They do need to watch out because I mean there's still another good couple of teams. I would say 8 teams remaining still that might just get or try to third party this battle as well. But they are not worried at all, as you can see. It's Hunter over here just trying to find the rest of the other players. Nicely done.
I mean,
spots them.
Yeah, I mean, SIDEMEN definitely trying to come up the side there, but unfortunately, that also then opens up the opportunity for the players from Sincerity to reposition and, get themselves a little bit better situated. We did see them, of course, now taking that push, heading all the way down in towards the zone itself. And as we are looking on towards Slay, they did see old Matrix getting taken down as the players there from YT are looking to dial up a little bit of the aggression on their side. For the time being, SIDEMEN just going to be holding back a little bit on towards that northern position. Blue zone, as we can see, is going to start closing on through. So it will, along with that, bring in a few additional changes as the teams really have to try and make these moves. But now Rogue coming through with a little bit of that bolty action. We got Trip right in front. So this could be a really interesting exchange coming in between Rila Insider and the players here from, Sincerity.
Indeed. And I mean, both teams, they are expected to bring the heat here. So it can go either way, I do believe. Rila Insider, they are the team that they have the heal. So normally we do think about the hill as having the higher ground, which means having the upper hand, but not in this case right now. Looking at the situation with the next zone as well. Sincerity looking like they are in a good spot. Rila Insider, YT, SIDEMEN. Ooh, Trip gets founded. What a shot that was. Sleepy as well gets knocked at Rila Insider. That would be Zeke that's on fire right now, lighting the kill feed up. And it's time to get back into that compound. Nope.
That was a wham bam thank you ma'am, right? As Rogue sent out a beautiful hit, just getting those shots lined up. So what a great way, or rather great shot that we saw coming through there from Rogue. But now, right, we got to look and see what the rest of the teams are going to be bringing forward. The players there from Deset Flame also going to be starting to push their own position, looking to see if they can maybe pull in from that more southern edge. They've already taken the plunge and rotated in to a very predominant kind of centered up position with a little bit of a spread still being utilized here. As we can see, it is going to be 6, and I believe that's Buden. No, that's Drunken Jay right here alongside them, with Buden then holding that off-angle position. So great vantage point to play from, but now it is going to be, a little bit of a challenging play for them to try and get themselves situated in a strong, decent kind of position, because, I mean, we still have all our teams in play here.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't consider this one decent. It looks like they have a little bit of a hill to work with, their vehicle and a shack over there. However, I mean, that's going to be difficult to hold down. So, I mean, then we see another knock coming through. Ooh, Prothus gets into the lobby. And there we go. So a couple of knocks coming in, and that is because they're finding themselves in open areas, and you will get picked out at this point in the game. However, I mean, speaking about that, we do see one of the players from almost G3 DF that gets sent back to the lobby as well. So they are sitting on the back foot over here. We've got TP. Woo-hoo. The Predators. So the first time, season 11 for them. Nicely done, finding themselves in a lot of trouble. Just shots coming in all over the place, and destruction galore as we do look like Steeros. What is he going to do? I thought he was going to try and escape the situation. Gets the molly out, and then a couple of shots coming in from a distance as well. You will molly the shack, but there we go. The Elam does come through, and I believe that is the squad wipe for the Predators.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we did see a little bit of a
Teams
spike come
remaining.
through there,
Wow.
but that is what we love to see is the teams are now starting to converge down on towards each other. The players here from Rila Insider are going to be keeping their eyes open on towards that more western position. Meanwhile, Sincerity positioned right on the edge, looking to see if they can reach in and potentially find a few sprays onto the players here now from the side of Deset Flame. But I'm curious to see how this is going to unfold for them as they do hold a rather favorable angle, but nothing really that they can leverage all too much just
Wow.
yet. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
it is going to be the players here from YT Gaming now looking to get themselves back in towards the zone. They are going to be looking to potentially push straight through the side of Rila Insiders because see Zeke and the rest of the team now lying in position, waiting for a few of these positions maybe to come to, well, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a more favorable switch or twist here as the vehicles are now deployed. It is going to be, a very unfortunate knock coming straight on it towards Zeke as Slay is also down for the count, but the actions are going to stop there. The players here from Deset Flame still going to be looking to reach across. I mean, EFX now also having to kind of retreat back into this little shack, looking to see what they can do. A little bit of a regroup coming through. Meanwhile, Matrix will be taking several hits. It is going to be the end of the road, at least now for Matrix. And with that, it all then turns down onto the final hopeful, which is going to be none other than Trip, looking to see if they could find an angle onto Zilla. But I mean, Whitey, what a good spread this is coming through from them.
Phenomenal gameplay coming through there, just entrapping Rila Insider. They found themselves in a really good position over there. However, YT just coming through and nearly getting their squad wiped. Trip also just managing to hold it down for Rila Insider by himself, as we do see a couple of knocks coming through all over the map. Blue Zone also will be getting some elims to you'll be happy tonight. But yeah, so what a matchup that was. Looking now at Lynx over here, then there we go. DP being one of the favorites I'm seeing here in game number 1. Trip eventually gets a knock on one of the players I've seen in the kill feed. However, that will give his position away some. It's going to be a big surprise to see if he does manage to get himself a little bit further into the game with 5 teams remaining, still holding it down. No, I don't see him. He's been sent back to the lobby. So Rila Insider, that's it for them. They've been sent back to the lobby. This is going to be YT. Deset Flames as well. I'm surprised that they still find themselves this deep in the game as well. Just considering, I mean, we mentioned where they found themselves, but they are still holding it down. They do need to watch their south though, because we've got 6 over there. Up ahead, we're looking at Cinder Baby. I mean, bolt action. We've seen what Cinder Baby can do. Let's see if this player Rogue Baby can get another headshot. Can it? That was close. That was close.
I mean, Rogue definitely stepping up with the shots. They're definitely trying to drive as many of these hits through as they can possibly manage. But looking at the position coming through for Sincerity, they're looking quite decent on the approach. But also then we see the players here from 6 now starting to lay it on super thick as the squad there from the Deset Flame are now starting to dwindle. We've got a few of those really tough plays being made. We got Jay now trying to hold on for dear life. Of course, quite a bit of action now coming through as everyone and their friend is going to be looking to push on through. We can see those hits now continue to fly on in one after the other. Let's see a little bit of a knock coming through there from Willie, trying to close up the edge of the zone. Meanwhile, it is going to be up to Jay now to try and see if they can get themselves back into that zone. Meanwhile, YT also going to be moving in on towards that western position, trying to see what they can make happen on that edge. We got Kage off in the distance. Master getting traded right on down. Kage and the rest of the players from the side there of Apex, well, it's only the one going to be holding on for dear life as best they can manage. But look at Sincerity, looking absolutely phenomenal so far, sitting on 4 eliminations to their name, and they're not done yet.
Not at all, not at all. Sincerity eSports, they are rocking the show here in game number 1. well, four. One of their players has been eliminated early on, as we just saw. So they're coming into the final stages. 5 teams remaining as a good 3-man squad, as they do get that beautiful nade knock. Oh, then Willie will get some return fire, but he manages to dodge, gets himself back down. So that's the beauty of the third, or the TPP, where you don't have to show yourself to see exactly what's happening down below, and they are just
Oh.
and would that be it for D? Yep, that's it for the Deset Flames. They go 5th place. So we do have Apex, we've got Sin, we've got 6 in there, as well as YT. YT just holding that western side as nobody to deal with. So it looks like they will try to capitalize on that little bit of a good open area that we see over there. 6 links will be forced now in by the blue zone. Not much cover to work with, as he was hiding behind the drop there. So using the smokes to his advantage. Then we've got Desire also just staying low, trying to be as quiet as possible. Willie also not too far away. They do spot a driver, and he will be sent back to the lobby. That is it for 6. Well done. So that leaves us with 3 teams remaining.
Oh, I mean, and this is going to be an absolute challenge to get this chicken dinner locked in. But Sincerity, they're looking pretty strong. We got Desire all the way on the opposite end there alongside Kage. So Kage could be in a little bit of danger with Desire now looking to rotate up. But of course, on the opposite end, then we can see Zilla as well as Skull now looking to claim a few points along the way. Not only are they looking for those placement points, but they're also going to be looking to try and see if they can pick up those eliminations. Kage, however, now facing quite a bit of a challenge. It is going to be Desire to step up. There we go. The shot connects as Kage pushes through and brings Sincerity down to 2. So it is going to be a 2v2v1. Kage being the only player for his team now left to try and fight it out. We got Willie and Rogue now on the approach. Oh, nice strafing, but it is not going to be enough as Kage is able to pick up those hits. Sin also, Rogue rather, coming under fire. And with that, Sincerity get absolutely obliterated. With Kage still holding strong. I mean, Zilla and Skull also, they've been taking a little bit of damage. We can look on towards Skull, right? Managing to quickly patch things up. But what a run that was, right? Both these two teams working so synchronically to kind of get that head on in. And with that,
of course.
Oh, man, they just drive it through, pick up the winner chicken dinner. And it's going to be the players there from YT Gaming to walk away victorious here. 7 eliminations to their name and a winner chicken dinner under their belt. So an absolutely great play coming through there. Kage also doing a really good job, right? Finishing in 2nd place. They only started with 2 players.
Exactly.
And he's still able to pick up those 4 eliminations. So an absolutely phenomenal performance coming through there from Kage. We did see, Cord also coming in. You know, just bring in the moral support, and it's needed at times. Of course, the players there from Sincerity taking those 6 eliminations in 3rd place. We did see the players there from the side of 6 Gaming coming in with only 1 elimination all the way in towards 4th. And then, of course, the players there from Deset Flame walking away with 3 eliminations in 5th position. We're just going to be scanning down the rest of the list just to see where the other teams ended up. Of course, we can see Rila Insider there. We've got the players from SIDEMEN also bringing in a pretty decent performance, right? 5 eliminations. All the way in 7th place. We've got EFX in 8th. We've got the players there from the side of Prophecy finishing in 9th place. And then, of course, it is going to be the Predators, the first team back in the lobby. But that was only game 1, right? It's not going to be the end of the road. But we also then need to take a quick look to see who our stars of the match are. And it is going to be none other than Skull from YT Gaming getting our final hit to close off the match. But it's also then our MVP. And Nico from the side there of EFX actually getting our Best Companion Award.
Nicely done, and that is much expected of EFX. They are the winners of the previous season. I expected a little bit of more action from them here in game number 1. So game number 2, I'm pretty sure they are going to bring it. But I mean, YT, hats off to you guys for game number 1.
Yeah, some really, really interesting plays coming through here from our teams. But of course, you know, that only means, right, 1 down, 3 more to go. I mean, it's interesting to see this performance coming through from YT, because we know previous season they finished all the way in 4th position. So if this is kind of the momentum we could be expecting to see from them in this season, who knows, right? Maybe there could be some strong contenders coming in for that pole position. But only time will, of course, tell how all these things will unravel. And that, of course, also then means we are going to be hopping into a very quick break while we get our next lobby ready. And we are going to be moving over on towards Murmur. So be sure to stay tuned. And we'll see you guys back in a short few minutes.
Let's go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're getting ready to move into our second match of the evening. Of course, we are going to be heading straight over in it towards Murmar for a little bit of that desert action to come
Yeah.
through. Already we know the players there from Art of Killing, picking up that first winner chicken dinner. So beautiful victory coming in for them. But now, Victor, right, the question is, who's going to be the next team to step up and claim yet another glorious victory?
Indeed, it's going to be a different one this time around. I mean, we are sitting here looking at the lobby. We do see a couple of teams that have joined us for Miramar, so that means it's going to make things a lot more exciting. So we're not going to see that slow gameplay at least as long as it was in game number one. And I am excited to see to see who is going to step up here on. I mean, a lot of these teams they need to take advantage of this opportunities with a couple of teams still missing, so just to set themselves apart, because the teams that are missing, they are hard hitters right now. We do know that in season 11, so they should capitalize. I'm going to be rooting for all of them, just to see what they can do to put the other teams on the back foot. But yeah, nevertheless, well done, especially to, I want a big shout out to Six Gaming coming in, one of our new squads, getting themselves into fourth spot in game number one.
Yeah, yeah, and of course this time around, right, we're going to be looking to see who will be those teams to step up and come in with an absolutely glorious performance over on towards Miramar. As we know,
Yeah.
right, that we do have a few teams that are actually a little bit more successful on Miramar in comparison to what we see coming through over on towards Erangel. So I'm curious to see what that dynamic will be this time around, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to
Yeah.
be those teams to step up? Because we know a team like Deset Flame, for instance, right? They've had some great success coming through
Miramar.
onto the battlefield, especially over on towards Murmar.
Yeah.
But as of late, we've not really seen a lot of that consistent performance really coming through from their end. So I'm curious to see how that is going to unfold. And of course, speaking of which, we are going to be now taking a little bit of a closer look at our flight path as the players are about to embark and show us, what they've got to risk it, as the flight path is actually very, very decent. I mean, starting over on towards that Val del Mar position, heading all the way across, over Monte Nuevo, Picado, Power Grid, San Martin, Hacienda del Patron, Cruz del Val, Tierra Bronca, reaching all the way across in towards Campo Militar. So that's going to be an interesting path, especially for these teams now, to get themselves a little bit more spread out and, get the ball rolling. And as we can see, of course, well, you can't see it, but, well, this time around, we've got 12 teams in the lobby with 45 players in total. So we're expecting a little bit more action to come through as well.
Yeah, 2 extra teams, so that means 8 extra players as well, and it can make the difference, make it or break it with any battle that you find yourself in. I like the plane flight as well. Coming through on Miramar, it's a huge map, so looks like majority of the map is up for grabs. So it can go either way, no matter where you find yourself. Very likely that you will find yourself in a nice position where you can do some looting in peace. Looking on the western side there, we do have about 3-4 teams there heading towards the same area. I mean, they can obviously see each other. I'm just assuming, like, who is going to back off first here in game number 2 on Miramar. Also, I mean, it just hit me. Desert Flames and Miramar. It's the desert. So let's see if they can stand up to their name or keep up to their name here on Miramar, being the Desert Flames.
Well, only time will tell what is going to come through on that front. But of course, as we know, right, it is going to be time for the teams to get right down to business, looking to see where they can get themselves situated. And already we see 2 teams dropping down in towards Picado. We got that little bit of a congestion over on towards the edge of zone. The players there from Six and Sin. So there is also a great chance for some, some action to come through on that front. But of course, we are going to be starting it out right here with the players from the Predators, as they've now decided to move up alongside the team from SIDEMEN. So a great starting point for both these teams, right? Picado is a very preferred kind of looting position. And we also did see our zone taking a little bit of a shift up on towards that northeastern side. So a few teams already kind of being blessed with not having to really rotate up all too much. But it's interesting that we see, I think there was no brainer coming through from the side there of Six. Yeah, I think they're a little bit AFK, right? I don't want to be too judgmental on that, but it looks like, no brainer. Went for a little bit of that AFK approach.
I mean, how lucky is that? Going AFK inside the next zone. How lucky is that? So hopefully they do find themselves back when they do need to move in, because surely the next zone after this one will go a little bit more inward. They find themselves all the way on top of that Campo Militar as they do eventually now find themselves on their feet. But I mean, looking at Picado, so we're looking at one of the teams being the Predators over here that are the newcomers actually opting for that hard drop. And that means they're bringing the heat here, not just for game number 2, but for the entire, I believe, night here, seeing that they found themselves in 4th spot as well. So I love what I'm seeing from the new teams. They will be going up a very experienced Sidemen team, so it can go either way at Picado. I mean, what do you think, DK? Predators versus Sidemen? It's going to be a battle.
Yeah, well, it could be potentially a little bit of a one-sided fight coming through, right? But who
Yeah, I'm
knows?
thinking the same thing. Yeah.
It could be swinging in favor of either of these teams. Predators, Sidemen. It's an interesting starting point, but we also then see thy Slay, right? This time around, not going for any of those knock jokes. Instead, going to be looking to get themselves a little bit better situated, looking to kind of just keep them close to
Yeah.
where the rest of the team finds themselves, as they're now looking to potentially explore a little bit further over on towards that eastern side. But still, right, we got those tensions building up in towards Picado. No one really starting to kick off the fight, at least not for
No.
just
No.
now.
Yeah.
But the rest of the lobby still going to be just exploring their options, looking to see if they can find a decent position to pull into as we now look onto the map there as well. You can see the players from Rila Insider, they are starting to push a little bit closer on towards that San Martin position, where we always see the players from Deset Flame
Yeah.
taking occupation. So who knows? There could be a few interesting twists coming in on that front, but we'll be keeping a very close eye on the map.
Yeah.
Opting to jump into the
Forecasting.
action.
Forecasting is the name of the game right now at this early stages. Like you said, Desert Flames, and then we got the Rila Insider just outside of Hacienda del Patron and San Martin area over there. I'm surely they will meet sooner rather than later. Also, all the way on the western side there, we do got 2 new teams that decided to join us. They're not new; they're old to the seasons. It is 4KT and Lag joining us at El Pozo and Crater Fields, and not too far away from them as well, we do have Team 6 and Sin. Couple of knocks coming in, so it looks like the battle is going down here between the Predators. Ooh, they managed to get one, so I don't know. Should they push? That looks like that is the question for them. It is the opportunity they've been waiting for. One of their teammates actually managed to get one down, so it is Steros that will be trying to make his way down sneakily towards the back. Trying to form up now probably with the rest of the teammates, but there's still a lot of distance, a lot of buildings to work with, hard cover. It's not going to be that easy at all.
Yeah, definitely not going to be that easy. And of course, we were just looking at Trip there as well. Also, just speaking across, looking for a little bit of that engagement. But definitely the players there from the side of Predator looking to stay true to their name, right? Really looking to dial up the aggression as Steroid and the rest of the team are now exploring their options on towards this casino position here. But it is going to be a very risky play, whichever way you call it. See now whether or not the players from the side of the Predators will actually be able to get those angles lined up. Because remember me and the rest of the team also now looking to come in for a little bit more of an upfront approach, right? You can see Diablo holding on the opposite end there, just making their way through the casino, trying to play all these angles that they can potentially manage. But it is going to be a Hunter now right there out on the front line to get a hit. Up comes the rush. Oh, down goes Hunters. The hits connecting up. And Pablo going to come in with a bit of a gamble.
Beautiful gameplay coming through from the Predators over here. Just looking at Sidemen, I mean, we expected a little bit more from them. However, they've already lost 2 of their players. So let's just see what Pablo can do as he chucks his molly. He's just trying to keep the enemy at bay. That is the plan. He needs to watch out, though, because he finds himself in a really tough situation. There's not much movement that you can do from the casino over here, as we see now getting himself all the way on top of the roof and putting himself in a situation where there's even less options to make. So let's see if Pablo can clutch this one. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. They are still full squad. The Predators are literally holding up to their name here as they are trying to hunt down the last few players from Sidemen. Also looking on the left-hand side, the Rila Insider, looking at Zeke. I believe it was Zeke that was in a little bit of contention with.
Oh.
What a play! What a play that was. GG's.
Yeah, I mean, the Predators coming in, they got the squad wipe. Well done, well played.
Yeah.
Already now down to only 11 teams to go. We did see the players here from Rila Insider also picking up a few of those hits on towards Deset Flames. You can see the rest of the crew now just pulling up onto that hill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm loving the action that we have unfolding between these teams. Everybody looking
Yes.
to dial it in, right? They want to get aggressive. They don't want to wait too much before
Yeah.
actually looking to bring in those placement points. But it's still quite a bit of distance remaining between these teams. So, we'll have to wait a little bit more to see exactly at what point the teams are really going to get that ball rolling and really start with some crazy action. As
Yeah.
Zeke, showing us how to peek out of your vehicle. Not going to be sitting on the chair even, holding onto the roll cage instead. And rather just waiting up top. I mean, I'm loving the telekinesis coming through here as Zeke is able to drive that vehicle without even touching the pedals or the steering wheel.
Wow, you don't see that every day, Zeke, with the brilliant driving skills as well as spotting one of the players from the desert. Why do I want to say Desert Eagles? Desert Flame! Desert Flame! It was Buden that got picked off beautifully by Trip over there. I mean, we saw the split coming through from the Desert Flame eSports. I mean, I don't know what he was doing out there all alone, maybe trying to figure out where the rest of Rila Insiders are, but he got punished by Zeke there. Here we go. Lag Fantasy also getting shot at from behind as he tries to escape. One more to go. Can they get that last shot in? Lag Fantasy coming in for game number 2 as well. They wouldn't in game number 1, and they might just get a fight of their life with Lag Fantasy nearly getting knocked, but he makes it out. You can see his left back wheel has gone back to. He needs to go back to the garage to pick that one up. But anyway, moving on to 6. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 also now putting a few hits into the players there from Slime. We can see Storm holding off in the distance. So with that, already the players there from Slime 4KT are going to be reduced by 1 as those confirmations have been pushed through all the way. It is now up to Storm, Zeus, and Plaza to see what they can kind of, figure out and what their best approach will be. Meanwhile, the rest of the players here from 6 just going to be sitting around sipping on a little bit of that blue before getting themselves resituated. Meanwhile, the players from Lag still going to be looking to get a good, decent position to pull into. They've now rotated up very close towards that water treatment region, but they have to now deal with the players there from Rila Insider as well as Desert Flame, now just sharing the space alongside with them.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, all 3 teams also finding themselves in the zone, so no need to worry about placement to find themselves in a better situation, maybe a better angle. However, but I mean, it can go either way. Desert Flames, we've got Lag, we've got the Rila Insider all in one space. Or well, it looks like one space, but it's actually quite big considering it is Miramar. But on the hills, the outside of water treatment, just taking shots at each other, looking for that elims, and that's exactly what we want to see over here, especially coming from a team like Lag. I mean, all 3 teams are DK, man. Rila Insider, Desert Flames, all 3 OP teams. I cannot guess, I cannot bet. I will stay out of this one. I'll just wait and see which way it's gonna go.
It's going to be a tough one. I can tell you that much, right? But of course, we can see several more engagements now starting to come on through. The teams all the way on that very edge of zone are going to be lighting it up as well. So the players here from Slime definitely finding themselves in quite the challenging position. I mean, Storm also now getting traded on down. And with that, it is now up to Zeus and Plaza as the shots connect on up. And now, as we look onto the rest of the team, right? They've already been able to get themselves just ahead of that blue zone. But they're not secured, right? They still have quite a bit of distance to cover to get themselves all the way down towards that southern position where we saw the zone rotating up towards. So not quite sure what Zeus and Plaza are going to be playing at as they are now trying to gatekeep the edge of the blue zone. Maybe they bumped their heads, right? Because this is not really an approach we see coming through from Slime all too often.
Yeah, looks like they want to get some revenge here on the players from 6 Gaming. I mean, 6 Gaming managed to get Storm 4KT and Pronto sent back to the lobby this early, and Zeus and Plaza, I mean, it looks like they are not happy with what happened, and they do want some sweet revenge as they do find themselves just waiting over there. But also looking at the Rila Insider, also just finding themselves in cover. This is what you want to see, especially on Miramar. You don't want to be caught out exactly like one of the players from, was Deset Flame eSports, as we saw an earlier Elam coming through. But yeah, so get yourself in cover. As I mean, Nico also needs to meet up with his rest of his squads. Not my favorite vehicle to drive around on this map.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it can sometimes be a little bit more challenging. That is why I just prefer to run on Miramar, right? That is my preferred
Ooh.
method of transport. Ain't nothing wrong with just utilizing a bit of that putifar. It works
Yeah.
beautifully. It gets you to where you need to go, not necessarily at the speed that you want to, but it gets you there, right?
Yeah,
Without
true.
fail, like you will eventually get to that point. Of course, now speaking about without fail, we did see a few of those eliminations coming through from the players there of Slime, with Kuza getting traded off and sent away. Six now holding on, and you can see a little bit of reluctance here from them, right? They don't want to rotate out of this blue zone and move straight into the players there from the side of Slime. But
Yeah.
Miyagi is just going to be now riding the edge of this road. So this could be quite the costly play actually coming through for the players here of Six. I mean, yes, the players from Slime 4KT, they've now opted to get themselves out of that blue zone.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to see Six kind of get themselves securely rotated out of this position, as I just realized I'm on the wrong one. There we go. We can look at that. That makes way more sense, as we can see the players from Six now just looking to explore their options. Miyagi is going to be just, teaching us and training us in all things PUBG related.
Beautifully done by them, managing to get themselves out of that tight situation. Zeus and Plaza was waiting for them to make their move into the next zone. However, what a rotation coming through from Miyagi. I mean, we learned a thing or two over there as he managed to dodge those shots coming in from Zeus as well. His teammate, though, still in the blue, needs to make his move in so that he can at least team up. They are now a duo. They lost one of their players as they managed to get some revenge on, as we saw Kuza getting knocked earlier on. So Miyagi, it's going to be 2 players left over. No. What am I talking about? We got Miyagi Links as well. He's in there also. So going into the next phase.
Yeah, you got to keep links, right? That's where you got to go if you're passing people, especially at high speed.
He's all the way at Campo Militar. He's still there.
Speaking about that, speaking about Campo Militar, right? This is not exactly Campo Militar, but it's still going to be a position now for the players here from Apex to try and play. As we can see the rest of the team now joining in as well, right? We get Professor, Jasser, as well as Blessin now just blessing us with their presence right here out on the battlefield. No Braino, meanwhile, will get taken right on down by that blue zone. And I mean, that was what I was kind of afraid of, right? I was expecting to see that kind of play actually coming to fruition, right? With the teams really getting caught out in the blue zone. And that's normally something we see that is more prominent over on a map like Sanhok, for instance.
That is so true, because you do have so much more to work with here. Lots of open areas, lots of vehicles as well, I would say, on Miramar. A little bit more that you can find yourself, well, the availability to get yourself nicely spotted in zone, as we do see majority of the teams already finding themselves in the next zone. I do like what Lag are doing over here, finding themselves on a nice high spot, looking down on Team EFX. I believe that is down below there. And guess what? It's bolt action time again with Berserk over here, as he will be trying to be king of the hill. A couple of shots coming into Beanie as they do battle once again. They are bringing it, but however he does get knocked. Shad staying as far as he can behind him, might just make most of the difference from this distance. Staying low, trying to keep that recoil low as well. At the same time, doesn't get the knock there. A couple of shots does land. It's a tight one. It can go either way. They have spotted him. Remember, he needs to come with a little bit of a more of a rotation, which looks like more coming his way from another. So he's down on his knees and all, and Will gets him back to the lobby. Shad is going to try and hold it down here in the smoke. Teammate over there just screaming, help me, revive me. Shad is like, no, there's too much going on right in front of me. Let's get more smokes up before I can deal with you, Six God. Also looking like they are in a battle against Slime 4KT. What a battle this will be. DFE, they do go into this battle with 3 men, 3 players. Then we've got 4KT with 2 as we saw. So it's not that equal, but it can go either way. Both two teams OP.
Yeah, not as balanced as they would have hoped to have it, but it is still going to be, quite a bit of a challenging play to come on through as the teams now continue to just try and, get themselves a little bit more situated, a little bit more strengthened. Slime also on the approach are going to be looking to move on through. We can see Lynx now coming in way off in the distance there as the nades get sent across once again. 6, the only hopeful for the side of Deset Flame. Not quite sure whether or not they're going to be able to find the straight up on towards Plaza, but they're definitely going to attempt. Fate up they come, moving forward. Oh, and it is going to be Plaza to lock it in, and with that, send the players from Deset Flame and kind of snuffing their flame right there, right?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And I think it's because the flame was lit when there was a previous battle between 6 with 4KT. 4KT, they've been on fire, and I just saw them get themselves onto that front foot looking now for players. And unfortunately, it was Deset Flames that was up ahead. 6 could have, they had the opportunity to third party. They decided not to. They're still very close by talking about that. But otherwise, let's move over to the spot of the map. We're looking at the players that find themselves inside the zone. This is Team Apex. They've done really well thus far. So let's see how they hold it down. Managing to get a knock. Oh, needs to get himself back into cover here. It's going to be Art of Killing versus Apex as they do battle in the zone.
Well, Professor now just giving us a masterclass in action there. Steps up, finds a beautiful trade in this 1v4 engagement. Skull now getting ready to rush on. Oh, that Oompy just lasering through. Skull getting confirmed. The rest of Apex now looking to pull up as well. We got Blessin coming in from the edge there. Mester and Zilla now just really having to kind of rethink their strategy here because, I mean, like Apex, they are just rising up to the challenge, right? They're just stepping in with such beautiful performances and just utilizing these angles so greatly.
Indeed. I mean, between the two teams, Apex, they are the players that should we expect a little bit more of, and that's exactly what they are doing. Looking at that tight angle as they spot Maestro, they gets him back on his knees. So it is going to be Zella that's looking to try and escape as fast as he can. Run is the name of the game. Zilla over here, nicely done. He finds himself at least in some hard cover. So I mean, what gameplay coming through from Apex over there. What a beautiful display that was.
Oh, it was phenomenal to see. Of course, now Zeus gonna come thundering down with a few of those utils onto the master, Mr. Miyagi. Up comes an aggressive rush now in from the side there of Plaza. Let's see. Oh, looks to push in. Instead now gets caught on the outside. But we've got Zeus there providing a little bit of that extra coverage as well. Up comes those utilities. And this is where Slime actually finds themselves in quite a difficult position. I mean, Zeus does succeed in finding that elimination, but still the players from Rila Insider are holding up alongside Slime, so they're not out of the woods. They might have picked up the eliminations, and in fact, that was their 5th elimination, but nothing is secured for now. Lag also having a little bit of a troubling run as they are trying to get themselves out of harm's way. It is going to be 1-9 to get shot. As they now trying to just pull away from that vehicle there. But again, right, the team's really stepping up the action. And, I mean, Rila Insider really looking to assert a lot of dominance coming into this next phase.
Yep. And they should capitalize on this one. 4KT or Slime, they can be surrounded very easily as they find themselves there on the outskirts. Lag in between the 3 teams. We've got EFX, we've got Sully that's already in the zone as well. So it can go either way, but Lag looking like they are in a little bit of trouble. Rila Insider, Trip just gets knocked now. Matrix trying to hold it down, and it's one more to go. It's going to be Plaza that's trying to hold it down for Slime. Matrix dodges, gets back down, gets back up. Oh, what is he going to do? Gets the molly out. There we go. Get that utilities out. Trying to cover.
Yeah, well, that's why Matrix is called Matrix, right? Because they are just able to dodge those hits left, right, and center. I mean,
he just left me in the Matrix there.
Yeah, I mean, Matrix was just now in front of the shots. Unfortunately, well, I mean, it only worked out the first time around, so great attempt either which way coming through there from Matrix. Now it turns to the rest of the team to look to see if they can maybe apply a little bit of pressure coming through on towards the players there from Slime, but also on the off angle, right? We got the players here from Lag, keeping a very watchful eye with Fantasy just perched off on the edge, just waiting for a bit of that vantage point to be playing. Of course, that zone has now shifted down to the south once again. But as we can see, Zeus also just going to be patiently waiting, looking to see what is going to come through from the side of Rila Insider as the blue zone now just caresses up on towards Fantasy. It's quickly looking to just duck in a little bit more. Zeus keeping a very watchful eye on them. And with that is going to be Plaza to succeed with an absolutely beautiful spray down. Now the players here from EFX position up on towards that northern edge of zone are going to be gatekeeping onto Lag, as Lag now also looks for a bit of a position to play, looking for a vantage point to come in from. We got Kage also now just coming in on towards that far eastern edge. And down on the south, we can see a big mass migration coming through. As we got Plaza about to get hit. Let's see, will that connect on up? Not just yet, but it is also they're going to be the players here from the side of Prophecy. Now going toe-to-toe with Apex. Professor finds the first few shots, makes the connections. But let's see what Wrath and the rest of the crew now from Apex will be able to pull on through, as it is now up to Kage, the final hopeful, to try and drive that nail in as far as they can possibly manage.
Yeah, once again, it's going to be down to Kage. I mean, we saw a huge split coming through from Apex over there, and they got punished for that one. Not expecting so many teams around them, and they are on the back foot now. We do see 4KT Zeus get sent back to the lobby. I mean, I was so impressed by the gameplay, the way they came through as a duo. Brilliant gameplay coming from them. Plaza also now trying to make his way into the zone, but it is Apex Kage that is going to try and get out of the trouble, as Pro will be doing the hunting now. Looking for Kage, just hunting, trying to find him, but Kage has a vehicle, so it looks like he is sorted for now.
Well, let's see, right? Because as we can see, Kage could be just rotating up into the mouth of the beast here. Positioned up ahead. EFX coming through with a few of those hits. Kage now trying to smoke it up. Fortunately, the tree provides a little bit of that cover, right? But it's not going to be the most favorable amount of cover. We do see Zilla also now trying to get themselves out of harm's way, trying to catch up with that sword. Only a few more nades left. Oh, Fate now taking several hits, gets downed right there. We got Wrath also on the slow, steady approach. The Islay coming through from the side of Sincerity. Also just going to be perched on the very edge. Oh, but it is going to be Plaza to drive that hit all the way through, make the necessary connections, and actually pick up that elimination. Loving the effort being put in here by Slime. I mean, already. Oh, down goes the Islay. But look at this, right? Slime's sitting on 10 eliminations to their name already.
Coming in as they came in as a full squad, but most of the game, almost the entirety coming through as a duo with a double figure haul here. 10, like you said, and it is Plaza that's going to look to drive it home here for himself as he clutches and just showing his dominance, at least what Slime can do. And this is what we expected. They were missing for game number 1, but they're right back in it, I would say, if we are going to look at that tally points towards the end. But nevertheless, what a display by Slime for KT there. We got Islay coming into the kill feed. He gets one of the EFX players down. Plaza now looking to push forward into the next zone. It's going to be a tough one as he tries to find a spot. He will be driving through lots of players, and I don't see him in the kill feed, so I think he's still okay. But I mean, what a situation. That's bravery right there.
I mean, that was absolutely insane. As we can see, right down to the final 4 teams we go, right? We got the players there from Prophecy out in the blue, still having to rotate forward. We got Kage holding on to the very edge. We got Deadliest now coming under fire there, but it is going to be Plaza to try and land a few of those hits on towards EFX. We can see Superior and Sully just managing to sneak up behind the rock, looking for a good point to make a stand from. But Plaza not going to be making it that easy for them. Is, however, going to be utilizing that buggy for some additional hard cover. Up comes Kage, looking to rush on forward. Plaza now just looking to welcome them on through. Oh, there we go. Kage gets traded on down. And now it is up to Plaza and EFX to fight it out for that winner chicken dinner. Who will be the team to get it done, though? I mean, as we can see, Plaza about to get rushed right here. Up comes the rush. Oh, picks up Superior. It now goes down to only Sully, the final 2 players left to kind of duke it out. Looking to see who will be the one to reign supreme. Up comes the sprays, the hits, the pushes. Plaza just ducking in behind the rock. Sully comes in with a jump, but it is going to be Plaza to close it out and land an absolutely insane victory. I mean, look at that. Plaza sitting on 10 eliminations as an individual, right? 12 in total for the team. But what on God's great earth was that, right? That was insane performance coming through there from Plaza. I mean, Slime really making
Wow.
up for not being in match one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They've
yeah,
now made up and surpassed what we could have
yeah.
been expecting to see. So what a
True.
great performance that was. Of course, the players here from EFX are going to be walking away in that second position, coming in with 6 eliminations to their name. We've got Apex with 4 all the way in third place. The players then from Prophecy getting that fourth place finish, locking in 6 eliminations. Sincerity with 1 elimination in fifth place. We got YT Gaming as more rather Art of Killing over in towards sixth place. We got the players there from Lag in seventh. We got Rila Insider in eighth. We got Sincerity, no, rather that's six, finishing in ninth position. The Deset Flame getting snuffed in 10th. Then, of course, we got the players there from the Predators in 11th. And the Sidemen being our first team to get sent back to the lobby. Our stars of the match are going to be predominantly Slime 4KT and also predominantly Plaza. So no surprise to see Plaza getting that MVP award with the 10
Yeah.
eliminations and
Wow.
1300 plus damage being dealt. Of course, we can see EFX Superior being our best companion, but what an absolute insane performance that was coming through from Plaza.
Phenomenal gameplay, Plaza. GG's, man. GG's. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, right. So if that is the kind of mentality that the teams are coming in with, right, missing out the first match, then stepping into the second and just
Yeah.
blowing everything out of the water, right? I'm excited to see what's going to happen as we have got more and more teams looking to join into our matches. Next up, we are going to be coming right back onto Murmur for another round to see what these teams are going to be bringing through and whether or not the players there from Slime will be able to replicate the insane performance we just saw that they brought in on this very first Murmur of Season 11 of the Mettlestate Pro Series.
Yeah. I think they can. Going through with a 4-man squad this time. I mean, Six Gaming, they came in with upset. They got the 2 elims there from Slime 4KT, but it's like they just shifted gears, getting into second and third, and that pushed them all the way through. What a display once again. Beautiful, beautiful.
Of course, now we are going to be hopping into a very quick break to get our teams locked and loaded into our next match. So just stay tuned, and we'll see you guys right back after the break.
Yep.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're getting ready to move into our third match of the day. Of course, we're going to be heading straight back into Murmur, heading to the desert once again. We already saw in the past match that the players there from Slime 4KT just stepped up and they absolutely blew us away with their performances. And it's kind of
Wow.
where I wish I had like a few buttons to press in the background, like something when Plaza was picking up those 10 eliminations, right? You could try something like this on the soundboard.
It was sending them to Jesus.
Let's try another one.
You gotta, yeah, let's do that again. Another one.
Why you do here during load shedding? Have you no electricity to shoot people?
Uh, all right.
And I
Well,
think
there
that,
we go. Right. Some Victor. Some examples of our soundboard that we could use during the game. But what a great play that was. Like realistic now coming in from the players there of Slime 4KT.
yeah, indeed, indeed. And I love what we got coming through from that sound. But that's exactly what we saw. The insanity, I would say, in game number 2, pulling through from Slime 4KT. And not just, I mean, pulling through the double figures, but one of their own players taking it through to the very end. I mean, none other than Plaza 4KT getting the big 1-0 and as well as the chicken dinner for them. So what a display. And guess what? We have another mirror mark coming up. I was thinking about this like another Miramar. You don't see that much, but now I'm excited, Dika. I'm excited.
Yeah, and of course,
Oh,
if you guys wanna get a glimpse at the where we are with regards to the point situation, the link is down in the description. You
awesome.
can just head over on towards the Mettlestate page. It will take you right to the PUBG section. You can of course from there go into the Pro Series and click on that. We'll be working on this end to get some form of a result that we could show you guys as well.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll have Vector, just to crunch some numbers in the background or something like that. Who
yeah,
knows,
yeah.
right? We'll figure we'll figure something out. But in the meantime, we're just going to be waiting for everyone to get into the lobby. We got about 42 players currently locked into position. So we are shorting at least one or two more to go. Of course, also going to be waiting to see what performance the players there from Art of Killing are going to be bringing out onto the battlefield, as we did see them popping off quite dramatically on our very first match, walking away with their winner chicken dinner. So far we've only seen two teams, right? Well, obviously we only have had two matches happening. But I'm curious to see whether or not we could see another repeat coming through there from Slime with them getting that back-to-back winner chicken dinner. Or could we potentially see any other teams stepping up to the challenge? We, of course, also going to be having the players there from Uso Crimson joining us in this match.
Nice.
So, there's going to be quite a few exciting things to come through on the second Miramar.
Yeah, indeed. Good spot there, DK, as well. I mean, I saw Uso Crimson, and that just means that there's going to be a hell of a lot more action on the desert. Speaking about Desert Flame eSports, unfortunately, were unable to bring in their A game here tonight. And I mean, we saw. Unfortunately, they got one of their players that got taken out very early in the match, and that set them on the back foot. They found themselves covered by two squads towards the end again, and they just got eliminated and found themselves all the way in 10th spot. But I mean, the guys or the players that I want to say that did really well in game number 2, and let's see if they can do that again. It's going to be
Mm.
EFX. I mean, we've seen EFX throughout a lot of the seasons as well. This time getting second place. But yeah, Slime 4KT putting in the most there, making the most out of it as a duo and in the end as a solo, man.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what comes through this time around in game number 3.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see what they will have in store for us. Of course, now we're just waiting for one or two more players to join, and then we can get
Yeah,
the party underway. As we have got another team just getting themselves into position. It's going to wait and see if there's going to be another player joining. If not, we are going to be starting it off and then getting right down to the action. But it's going to be exciting with the addition of the players here from the USO Crimson
yeah,
team, showing us, what kind of performance they could be bringing in, because we did see Slime stepping into that second match. And, this time around, we've got the players from USO. So who knows, right? Maybe we could have a few more surprises coming in. Of course, with
indeed.
that, it is going to be our cue to start the match. So we are only a few seconds away from seeing what the flight path will be bringing in. And, of course, where the teams are going to have the opportunity to get themselves
Yeah,
situated in towards. I'm also curious to see what that flight path is going to bring on through, right? Because as we know, Miramar sometimes is a little bit surprising with
yeah,
regards to where it kind of lets it loose And sometimes we see the teams really being in a position where they start to squirm a little bit.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
always appreciate that when the game kind of goes to those extremities. But
yes,
yeah, honestly, we got to just wait for a good, decent kind of setup for these teams to get themselves into a little bit more of a favorable position. And you
yeah.
know, if they have to challenge, if they are being challenged or have to work a extra little bit harder, you know, why not?
You need to bring in your A game. I mean, we saw the Predators as well as I believe it was early in the early game stages of game number two, opting for that Picardo, that hot drop, and luckily they only had one team to deal with, and it was Sidemen, and it was the Predators that came out victorious over there. So well done to them. Also, you know the name of the game when it comes to these type of leagues stretched over 4 weeks, 4 game days. It's all about consistency. And right now, if I'm looking at least with the top three positions within all the teams, we've got Art of Killing, Apex, then we've got Sincerity. Game number two, it was Slime who missed out in game number one, but like you said, made up beautifully in game number two. And then EFX and Apex against Apex being the most consistent out of the teams thus far. But yeah, let's have a look at that playing flag, splitting Miramar right down the center. So east, west, north, south, you can go anywhere. It's anyone's drop at this point. Wherever your favorite spot would be, you can go.
Hmm. Yeah, pretty much, right? And
Yeah.
and that's what we're going to be looking to see as the teams are starting to make their way on down. We do see the players there from Sincerity heading over towards the eastern side, going to be looking to drop down in towards the Torre Ahumada, potentially Campo Militar position. So that's a good
Yeah.
starting point, right? Very isolated from the rest of the teams. But we're going to be seeing how much of a big brain play that is, depending
Yeah.
on where this first initial phase pops, right? Because if the zone does take a shift on towards the north, they're going to be absolutely blessed with their
Mm,
position. But if it goes in any other kind of direction, right, that could become a little bit more challenging, a little bit more
of
trying for
course.
them to get a good and proper, comfortable kind of rotation back in towards that next phase.
Yeah, indeed, of course. And as you can see, they do still have a lot of ground between themselves and anybody else. I mean, the next team, it's all the way down below at Cruz de Val. We do see Team EFX that are getting themselves in a vehicle as the next zone does get decided. So, by the roll of the dice, they find themselves in the next zone, DK. Lovely, man. So they'll be smiling all the way towards at least the very end of the next zone.
Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah,
good starting point coming through there from them, and
yeah.
of course we are going to be hopping straight over onto the players here from Uso Crimson. As you can see them now just making their way through up in it towards Los Leones. They are sharing the space with the players there from the side of 6. So who knows, right? We could find a little bit of that early game engagement. We did see the zone, of course, now taking its swing all the way up on towards that northern territory. So this is actually going to be a little bit of a saving grace for the players of Sincerity, right? Because as I said before, they are quite isolated from the rest of the lobby. There's not going to be any urgent or
Yeah.
you know really pressing kind of plays for them to get themselves rotated into any particular position. So they can now pretty much go about their business, grab the
Yes.
necessary loot that they are looking for, and then from there decide how they want to move forward, if at all.
Indeed, peacefully is the name of the game for them. I mean, they managed to get themselves beautifully in third spot, game number one. They dropped a little bit to fifth, I believe it was in game number two. So it looks like they're having a good start thus far for game number three over here because they can take their time. There's no enemies in and around the area, and they probably hope to carry that right through towards the very end and not split up, which they are kind of at the moment. But I think just capitalizing on the fact that they didn't see anybody float alongside with them. Also, I like what I'm seeing by Six as well. Six was one of the squads that opted for the hot drops once again now in game number three, going down below at the Los Leones region. It's a very difficult section to hold down. You know, there's lots of loot, great loot. Never mind that, but the compounds are not there for the taking, as we do see. Instead, it's going to be the teams, like you said, it was Uso as well as Sidemen that finds themselves in the compound full Los Leones area. They should
Yep,
they need to watch out. They need to watch out there.
yep, yep. They definitely need to do right because, as we know, Los Leones, yes, it is a city, but that also then presents quite a few challenges, as
Yeah.
there could be several teams hiding around
Ooh.
almost every single
Yeah.
corner. So
Yeah.
you need to be a little bit more on the wary side there. Need to keep your wits about you while making your rotations through that section in particular. But I mean, a little bit further towards the north, where we can see the players here from Rila Insider up in towards the Cigar. They're going to be moving up. You know, Slay just going to be slaying this vehicle across the open field, picking up a little bit of grass along the way, seeing that it is so nice and lowered with regards to that suspension. But I'm not expecting all too much. Right, a great landing coming through there. At least not rolling down the hill. So, you know, I'll give that about maybe a 5.5 for
5.
execution. But of
Yeah.
course, speaking about that, I'm curious to see what Six and J are going to be
Ooh.
doing here. They now are rolling in with that party bus, and as we know, this is one of the fastest vehicles in existence. So you got to be super careful with how you drive this thing, and like kind of
Well,
you know at what speed you look to take corners with.
yeah, indeed. One of the things that what I love the most about the vehicle, the party bus, is going to be that suspension, all those hills. I think it's one of the best vehicles to tackle those hills. Does not get affected as much as your usual vehicles or your bucky. What would I say? What would I say? Bucky. Or what would be the
Pickup,
political the
the
pickup truck?
pickup truck.
There we
Yes.
go. The pickup truck. As I mean, those like I said in game number 2, I don't want to. I would never want to find myself in one of those pickup trucks here in Miramar. For me, it's just a driving or a ticking bomb over there. I would opt for the party bus, DK.
Well,
Always,
I
every
mean,
day.
if you're a pickup artist, right? I can kind of see that working out, but yeah, I'm not quite sure if we've got any of those currently on the map. But for the
Yeah.
time being, it is going to be
We,
the players here from Deset Flame and Rila Insider looking to
ooh.
ignite the action,
Repeat.
get that snowball going. And who knows, we could be in for quite a bit of variety as we can see several teams still positioned on those outlying regions. We do see the players from Six now opting for a disengage from Los Leones. They've pushed to the west, closer on towards the Chumacera position, and now starting to make their way up north. But they could be bumping into the Predators along the way.
Oh, they do need to watch out. I am concentrating especially on the players from Deset Flame. I mean, they were caught off guard by exactly the team that they are firing on towards now, Rila Insider. I believe it was Mr. Buden that was scored by himself, and it looks like they are continuing with that split, although Buden is not that far out. I think he learned his lesson in game number 2 over there. So he's sticking close by, finds himself in a vehicle, might just pull up towards 6 guard over here. But 6 guard will be fighting in that shots from a distance. It's going to be a long distance battle. It's who has more ammo at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
long distance things are sometimes quite challenging. But as we know,
Yeah.
in the current in our current time and age, you know, there has been some improvements. Of course, we know it is 8 times scope, but I don't know whether or not Six has actually been able to find one of those 8 times
No.
magnifications, whatever you want to call those
Yeah.
fancy words. But I mean, looking at the position, they're definitely going to look to try and expand their options here. Definitely looking to kind of spread themselves out as dynamically as they can, trying to reach all the way across on towards the place there from Rila Insider.
Yeah. And they are actually deciding to stick together, and that would be the better option. You don't want to get picked off one by one like which is exactly what happened in game number 2. In fact, this time it is Rila Insider that goes with a 2-2 split, as we see there in front, Slay and Trip stays behind. So Buden will be taking those shots, just fighting in, trying to keep them busy. Question is, what are the other 2 players from Rila Insider going to do? Will they rotate behind and try and just get them trapped in the Hacienda del Patron area? I mean, it is an option, but the map is so big, it's that early in the game, it can go either way. But it looks like we will have a repeat, very likely between Deset Flames and Rila Insider here.
Yep. Let's see where it's going to go. Definitely Slay getting stuck. Trying to push that vehicle on through. It manages to get it out, but of course we see Matrix coming in. I mean, a great performance coming in from Matrix in the previous round, right? Or
Wow.
rather on Erangel, where Matrix was able to evade so much damage and just stepping up and being such a pain in the side for a lot of these teams. But of course, you know, we are looking for a little bit of more of that action to come through.
Yeah.
As the teams now continue to make their way in. Looking to get themselves situated. Of course, that zone is going to start closing in. We're about halfway through with that zone closure. But we'll still to see the players there from Predators rotate all the way up from that far southern position, all the way down in towards Val del Mar, where they do have a relatively comfortable rotational path. You can see that road
Well,
just making
nice.
its way on through. But also, we do have a few hits and a few crashes coming through onto some of the parties here. Speaking about those parties being crashed, it is going to be the players here from Lag. And of course, the Deset Flame now looking to get into the action with 6 and A9Q. Both players getting traded off on either side of the exchange. But now Fantasy gets added
Ooh.
into the mix as well.
Well, and that's it. That caused them a lot of trouble now. Lag coming in with that split, that 2-2 split. One of them gets sent back to the lobby. One is still down. I'm not sure if they will use the player that is down as bait, but Lag 1 and Cacao, they are making their way in. So Desert Flames looking like they can maybe capitalize on this, but it's going to be difficult for them to get in, as we do see Rila Insider just capitalizing on the third party situation that they find themselves in. So we can expect a couple of more knocks coming in. Lag looking like they are the team on the back foot. Desert Flames this time bringing the A game, and they are looking to get that fire or the elim on one of the players that were taken down. Cacao does pull up fast just in time, might just get the revive. So 9Q might just get, yep, he's going to get saved. Wooden will push forward on towards 1-9. So I mean, I think the rest of the teammates should push forward a little bit more. Otherwise, Buden once again will get picked off by himself. What a brave push, though, coming through by Buden here.
Yeah, but of course, we'd like to see a little bit of that reinforcement move in
Yeah.
alongside them. And we do at least have Maestro on the back end there, so there is that additional layer of support that is going to be provided there. But still, you know, nothing is going to be all too easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park, right? They definitely
Not
still
at
going to have
all.
to put a lot of work in. But looking at the position coming through from Desert Flame, they are in a position where they can actually leverage this high ground advantage they have onto Lag. But they definitely have to try and condense it, right? And of course, Desert Flame, they still have all 4 players up. We see at least 2 of them right there on the mini-map. The rest of them are going to be a little bit further on towards the eastern side. But also, Desert Flame needs to be cautious now because we can see Lag right in front of them. But right behind Lag is Rila Insider. Right behind Rila Insider is Slime4KT. So, oh, this could be a very detrimental
There we go.
push. And of course, Buden finds that out firsthand.
Yeah, once again, Desert Flames loses one of their players that decides to push all the way right up in front by himself and gets sent back to the lobby very early over there. As we can see now, Lag coming in as a full squad, or at least 3-man squad at this point in time. This time it will be Maestro that leads the lines, getting in a couple of shots. Here comes the rotation. Beautifully done, might I add. Almost getting 6 guard down. He is very low, so he will get some time to... Oh, no, a couple of shots coming from the... Lag is on fire. Desert Flames are getting lit up by them. Well, he's going to be Drunken Jay, going to be the last one from a distance. But I mean, what a display from Lag. EFX also now coming into the kill feed. A big disappointment once again for DF. But Drunken Jay this time, who was the first player that got taken out early on in game number 2, is the last survivor.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice change up coming through from them, but definitely we'd like to see, you know, a little bit more success coming through from Desert Flame, but they are now going to get rushed. And look at that. Ooh,
Wow.
Cacao. Wow, okay,
Wow.
okay, all right.
Whoa.
Well, Cacao showing off with the beautiful endo coming through there, you know, just pulling up on the 2 front wheels. Who needs 4 if you only use 2? I mean... Great performance. I'll give that one a 9.5 out of 10. That was pretty amazing to see, of course, once he got out of it through a few extra moves. And speaking about moves, there's going to be Nico looking to create a few waves as they now come hammering down on towards Bones. As Bones there for the side of Uso are just looking to find a good position to call home, trying to test the waters, looking for that rotational path. Meanwhile, well, the teammate has actually taken the plunge and rotated all the way into that more centered zonal position. So, I mean, quite a few interesting positions definitely being utilized by these teams.
Yeah, super splits coming through, if I might add. I mean, I'm not used to seeing the distance between players like that. However, they do get away with it this time around as Bones pulls up towards a nice drop over there and close to his teammate with Willie. Also, Sin, I mean, we've seen their drop. They opted for the most northern area, and they do find themselves now a little bit more trying to get themselves a little bit more central, but still avoiding any action, looking for that long distance battles. I mean, look at that, reaping the rewards of dropping in an area or location where there's going to be not much threat, and you get to loot in peace. As we do see the 8-time scope coming on with a mini, also suppressed, mind you, me. Lovely done
Oh,
it
yes.
already.
Yep, and we can see a few developments coming through as well, right? We got the players there from Apex as well as Six, all the way down towards the south. We also have the Predators alongside them, so it could be a little bit of a challenging play to come through on that front. We have Rila Insider and Slime also in pretty close proximity to each other.
Ooh.
But now Sin getting ready to move that zone, however, is going to be shifting down, and it blesses its way down on towards the players from Apex, SIDEMEN, EFX, and many others all the way down in towards those southern reaches of the map. So it's going to be that time once again, right, for teams to try and kind of cram themselves back in towards this next zone.
Yeah, I mean, it is very much, it's a zonal type of gameplay that you should bring. It is very big, but you know how that blue zone hurts because the map is so big. Once it comes to smaller zones, if you're going to get caught out in the blue, the players are going to enjoy themselves just fighting in shots from inside the zone. So a couple of teams are still outside of the zone, as we see there, surrounding water treatment. EFX being one of the teams that finds themselves nicely situated on a hill inside the zone, and they will actually be one of those teams that we were talking about that can capitalize on the rest that's just right now making their way into the zone. One of them will be Cineroke Baby and their squad. Here they come. Battle is on. Sally now gets knocked and sent back to the lobby.
Oh, yeah. EFX having a little bit less than favorable
Yeah.
turn of events coming in their direction. Meanwhile, there's
Yeah.
going to be the players here from Slime and Rilla now looking to go toe-to-toe with Matrix now. Will they be dodging those shots once again, dipping, diving, and dodging the flames as the spray comes through, not managing to make the necessary connections with those hits, but definitely going to continue in the efforts as they're looking to close it up. But up comes the rush, gets two of the players there. And now with that, of course, we do see one more remaining, right? I believe that is Trip on the opposite end. Let's try to get over to Trip. There we go. Trip now keeping a very close eye on the position coming through here from Storm. I mean, this time around, Slime 4KT not really being able to replicate the performance we saw coming through in the previous match.
No, unfortunately, one of the players, especially with the water performance in Game Number 2 Plaza, is already down. And there we go. Storm as well joins him back to the lobby very early for Game Number 3. So we were asking the question, can they bring that exact type of gameplay in Game Number 3? Nope. The Rila Insider says, oh no, this is going to be our game, sitting on 4 elims now with that beautiful squad wipe. Wonderfully done.
Oh, yes, sir. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff, of course. Rogue going to be flexing those long-range hits once again. Not a bolty, but a semi-auto. Or a rapid single fire. There we go. A rapid single fire, because I think that explains the mini 14 a little bit better. I mean, the rate of fire to come through from this thing, like if you've got the fast fingers, it's absolutely insane. Now pair that with the 8 scope that we can see on there as well. And I mean, that could just spell fire across the board. Speaking about fire, it is going to be Nico now looking to open fire on towards Sincerity, as they are also then just slowly but steadily creeping themselves into position, getting ready to bounce.
Yep, it is time to get into the zone now, or at least into the next zone. The blue zone is almost there, so it's going to hurt. We do see Rila Insider outside the EFX. Like we said, they are going to capitalize on this situation. Beautifully positioned as well, and it is going to be Sincerity Esports that are closest as the next zone. As you can see, the map on the right-hand side makes its way down south once again and takes a good chunk of the junkyard and the northern side of Minas Generalis, and it is going to be Apex that finds themselves dead center of the next zone, probably on some nice high ground as they get to watch the rest of the teams make their way in. Let's go.
Yeah, a good chunk of junk coming through here as Sincerity now turns their attention. Wow. All right. Please, English, DK. As they turn their attention onto the players here from Rila Insider, as we can see Zeke and Matrix now trying to push up as well. But it's going to be a very trying play as we do have Superior also adding in an extra little bit of spice there, right? Coming in with those third-party plays. But Sincerity actually finds themselves somewhat surrounded, right? They've got EFX on the one side, Rila Insider on the other end, and they are pincered like it's no one's business. We can see up on that mini-map. It's going to be a very challenging play, especially now for Sincerity to make.
They are in so much trouble. I mean, they were hoping to go for that long gameplay, and they didn't act as fast as they could, I believe, to try and get themselves into the next zone. The next zone revealed itself. They had about a minute, and unfortunately, they were unable to capitalize. But I do believe, luckily for them, as you can see there, we do have the players from EFX deciding to rather opt for the next zone and not get caught in a blue zone or potential blue zone battle. So Sincerity eSports, they will be able to breathe a little bit the better for now, at least, as we move over to Uzo.
Oh, yes. Uzo getting ready for some action. But as we can see, Bones now just pulling up to his friend there, Wet. Trying to see if they can get any of these angles to play on through lag. Still going to be trying to push on in. I mean, yes, they've got that centered up position, but they're trying to spread themselves out a little bit more to try and cover even more of these angles. Meanwhile, the players there from SIDEMEN are going to come through swinging with their hits. Bones now trying to pick up that spray on towards Zeke. Not going to be able to make the necessary hits connect on through. Also on the opposite end, we got the players here now from SIDEMEN getting into a little bit of an exchange. Sleepy trying to pull forward for that res to come through. We can see Bones now not even going to be pushing in for the res. Is instead going to be picking up his teammate. And with that, trying to pull that res off. Up comes Matrix, also looking to move on forward, not spotting them out just yet. And Bones getting hit from behind as Sincerity comes sneaking into the action. Players from Rila Insider also stepping up to the challenge here, trying to drive a few of those hits in, looking to see what they can manage. As we can see now, it is going to be absolute chaos erupting on the screen here, out on the battlefield, as the teams find themselves in very close proximity. I mean, looking at Rila Insider, they've got this angle on towards Sincerity, but Sincerity so close to zone, but they've not yet been able to get themselves secured in. And with that, it is going to be Slay to just, well, now absolutely obliterate the players there from Sincerity with a good assist coming through. They're from, well, onto rather, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, and I think it caught everybody off guard that zonal shifted. I mean, everybody expected it to be more down south. But it then changed up on everybody. Here we go. Slay, can you get the bolt? Actually, I do love seeing my AWM headshots. Slay rocking my favorite weapon in game. But yeah, so back to the zone. Shifts all the way to the north again, and I think that's where all of those elims came through. Everybody just expecting to get into the next zone, drive down, but nope. They had to stay on the spot, and just like that, they were sent back to the lobby there by Rila Insider, coming through with another brilliant performance. The Rila Insider currently sitting on a total of 8 elims, doing really well. EFX, I think they can step the game up. They do have a 3-man squad going into the final few circles. 8 teams still remaining. Pro as well, Prophecy eSports also coming in as a 3-man squad as they decide to go for a little bit more cover, but they do need to still. Rila Insider right now seems to be the team dominating in the zone. Everybody else, as well as we're looking at Prophecy eSports, they've got a long way to go. And I mean, they're on legs. DK, you say you prefer the legs, but at this point in time, would you still say that?
yeah, of course, because you're nice and quiet and silent, and maybe deadly, like Superior here now trying to get the shots up in towards the what's that, L2R? Yeah. The Predators now feeling that pressure, the sting. Superior now getting caught out by the blue, the sprays, the hits, the aggression, the everything coming in. And of course, up comes a quick trade as Superior now meets their end. It is going to be the end of the road for them. Pyros, the last one left for the squad here, looking to see if they can find any decent approaches to play. But it's going to be quite challenging, as it is going to be Pyro to get taken on down. Nico, sorry, there was 2, right? Nico just blending in with the background, and not for long. As you can see, Nico now also meeting their end there as the shots come through. Meanwhile, we got Deadliest now looking to push on forward. The sprays are going to come in as the blue zone's already just hammering away at the health bar. And yes, down they go. Thirst now will be the last hopeful for this team. Let's see. No, yes, no, maybe. off they go. It is
Back
going to
to
be
the
the
lobby.
end of the road. Yes, sir. But, of course, there's still a bit of action erupting on towards that northern side with the players here from Rila Insider looking to hold strong. It is going to be Zeke, Slay, and Matrix now looking to assert their dominance as they're moving in from that northern position.
Indeed, that's the exact word that I was thinking. They should and they would most probably dominate now. Just looking at their beautiful positioning, man. They've got a nice hill to work with. It is TPP, so they can just have a beautiful look at everybody up here that's going to try and make their way into the zones, as they do get a couple of elims there now, as we do see 3 teams now remaining. It's going to be Apex, Rila Insider. Apex should be the only other squad that will be a little bit more difficult to deal with, as we do see TP, or the Predator Steroids, the last player, one survivor. But I mean, you can't take one survivor out of the game, right? There we go. Professor also down. So the couple of shots coming in. There we go. Matrix gets taken on, and the clutch coming through by our solo guy. Going up against Slay now. Slay gets the grenade. Can he get it spot on? Let's see. It will only tell in a couple of seconds. A little bit of way out, and he will get shot at third party. Slay needs to watch out. TP is on fire.
Oh, I mean, absolutely insane performance there. Of course, we did see that play then coming to an end.
Apex.
Down to our final teams we go. It is going to be Rila Insider up against Apex. I mean, looking at Rila Insider, right, already 14 eliminations to their name, down to 2 players. If we look on the other side of the board, it is going to be the players here from Apex, now sitting down to 7 eliminations. So, I mean, there's a really good performance coming through from both these teams. But Rila Insider just looking at that one extra play better, right? Just managing to double up on the amount of eliminations in comparison to the players here from Apex. But that doesn't mean anything at this point in time, right? They still need to try and push up and kind of lock in that winner chicken dinner, because we're going to wait to see whether or not it will be potentially 9 eliminations with 15 points coming through for the winner chicken dinner, or will it be 16 eliminations and those 15 placement points coming through as well?
It can go either way, and both teams will be pretty happy with themselves. What a shot coming through by Slay. Finds himself out in the blue, though. Will try and get the elim. The zone will do probably most of the damage. So there we go. Winner chicken dinner, unfortunately, as the zone coming in with so much speed sends Apex back to the lobby. It is Rila Insider for the chicken dinner. Beautifully phenomenal display once again.
Yeah, absolutely insane performances. We can see them finishing exceptionally strong, locking it in on 16 eliminations alongside that winner chicken dinner. What a run that was. Of course, Apex finishing strong, as we can see then, with their 7 eliminations up in towards that second place. We got the players there from the Predators up in third with 3. We got the SIDEMEN locking it in 4 eliminations in 4th place. Hunter doing all the work there. It is going to be the players from the side of Prophecy up in 5th position. We got the players then coming through from the side of 6 Gaming in 6th place. Loving how these things are working out in this third match. Of course, EFX in 7th position with 4 eliminations. We got the players there from Lag also coming in with 4, but unfortunately taking 8th place. We got Sincerity up in 9th. We got the players there from Uso Crimson in 10th position. We got Slime 4KT sadly getting sent back in 11th position. And then the Deset Flames, again, getting snuffed relatively early on in this game. But as we look at our stars of the match, it is going to be Zeke to take our MVP award, as well as, well, obviously landing that final hit to close off the game. With Nico from EFX, I feel like this is the second time that we've seen Nico being our best companion.
Yep, Nico bringing the action for EFX. However, just a little bit more of a push can maybe get them a little bit more points on the board. But nevertheless, he gets himself to be one of the top players. So well done either way.
Yeah, well, definitely need someone like Nico in if you're going to be looking to get super aggressive, right? Bumping into all these engagements. I mean, with a sidekick like Nico, you know, you're going to make it. You're going to last very, very long. And as we did see, right? So EFX, yes, sadly, they got sent back in 7th place. But I feel if Nico wasn't there, it could have been much, much sooner. So, you know, well done. Well played by our team, stepping it up once again on mobile. That, of course, then means, right, next up, we are going to be heading straight over in towards Erangel to see what the teams are going to be bringing in our final match of the day. So we're going to be taking a very quick break, so be sure to stay tuned, and we'll see you guys right back afterwards.
Sweet.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're getting ready to move into our final match of the day. We are going to be heading right back over onto Erangel to see what the teams are going to be bringing onto the battlefield for the final showdown, the final rough action to get in here. I mean, I'm not quite sure where I was going with that one, but whatever, right?
It's
It
been
is time. It's time, right? It's time.
yeah. Yeah. It is time to end off the night at least on a bang for majority of these players. We do see the teams spreading it out. I mean, you're coming in first place, getting double figures, getting the winner chicken dinner. Then all of a sudden, in the next game, finding yourself second last. So it's anybody's game at this point in time. It looks like it is going to be. But I mean, I do like game number 4 the most because that's where we can actually see who has been the most consistent, who's been just bringing the action. But right now,
Yep.
one team stands out the most. It's going to be Apex for me.
Yeah, well, we'll see whether or not Apex is going to be stepping up. We were talking a little bit before coming on that Apex has been showing some pretty great consistency across the board. You
Yeah.
said they've been the most consistent team so far. So I'm curious to see what they're going to look to try and push for in their performance here today, right? Whether they're going to
Yeah.
look to potentially bring in a winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally confused because it's not like like I see any defensive gameplay, just trying to avoid any action and then finally get yourself into the top 3, which is where they find themselves. So I don't see that actually. I do see them taking the engagements on. I do see them getting the elims as well as getting rewarded by getting into that top 3. So I'm expecting a lot from them in game number 4 as well.
Well, only time will tell. And of course, speaking about time, we've got about 10 seconds or so left on the clock before these teams are going to be stepping out for their final showdown, looking to see who will be able to claim that last winner chicken dinner up for grabs on our very last match of the first day, the first week of season 11 of the PUBG Mobile Pro Series, brought to you by Mettlestate. But of course, looking at the flight path, it is going to be up towards that northern region. So it is somewhat limiting, especially for the teams that like to drop all the way down towards those far southern positions as well. And with that, I'm thinking of teams like Sincerity, who we saw moving into those regions. We did have the players there from the side of, I believe, Prophecy also getting into a few drops down on towards the Sosnovka Island.
Yeah, looking for that most northern or southern, whichever you want to find yourself, but trying to get themselves out of trouble in the very early stages of the game. Serve them well in the early stages of the game, but like coming deep into the next zone from that far out, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble, and that's exactly what happened with, I think it was Prophecy eSports being one of that squads as well. Also, Dick, I just want to mention that I might just get knocked out myself over here. We do know, well, the people don't know it's going to be load shedding very soon. So apologies for that if I do disappear. But yeah, nevertheless.
Yep. Yep. Well, it is unfortunately the way it is, right? I mean, there's not much that we can do about load shedding. It's one of those things that we just got to live with. But one thing the teams also have to live with is where they kind of find themselves, right? They got to try and get a good kind of start to this match. And already we see the players there from Sincerity starting things off with a little bit of that hot drop action, moving right up in towards North George, pulling right in alongside the players there from the USO Crimson team.
Yep, didn't expect that, as well as the zone. Unexpected drop all the way down south on the western side of Erangel. So Ferry Peperamos, we're looking at the team from Art of Killing. They would be happy. The Deset Flames Eagles, as well as the Apex team over there at Hospital, they do find themselves in the zone. Looking at the majority of the other squads or teams will need to make their way from the eastern side outside the zone over there. So it's going to be a tough one for them because we do know the contention, the race to get into the zone. That's where most of the action goes down. If any action does go down this early in the game, couple of I was thinking hot spots, but no, it looks like we've got a nice equal spread with all the players. Nobody really in trouble at all. So some nice peaceful looting.
Yeah, I mean it could be some peaceful looting. We do see, however, the players there from Rila Insider and of course the players from Lag positioned on towards that very edge of the zone. So we are going to be hopping across on towards them to see if we're going to have any action coming in between those two teams. But for now, things are relatively quiet, comfortable. You know, you can You can go about your loot business. However, 1-9 could be running into a few problems
Yeah.
potentially if they continue to push further down south. But for now, at least, things are okay. I mean, we did see also the players there from Rila Insider pushing themselves a little bit closer on towards that western bridge. So I'm
Yeah.
expecting to see a little bit of contention coming through on towards that southern edge of the main island.
Yeah, indeed. Lag opting for that 2-1-1 split. As we can see, Lag 1 would be the one that is the furthest out from the rest of the teammates by himself. If Slay decides to stay put, he might just find himself in a little bit of a battle against 1-9 as 1-9 finds himself in a vehicle. It looks like he would be heading straight towards the compounds where Slay is, so it might just be a little bit of a 1v1 action very early in the game. Here we go. He is pulling up, looking like he's dodging all the buildings where Slay is not in, and will push straight in towards a couple of shots. Slay misses most of them, but gets one or two in, gets the nade out. Here we go. Can he land it though? Looks like he might just run into it, dodging left, right.
Ooh.
Ooh, nearly gets the knock. Beautifully done. Beautifully avoided by 1-9 there.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a really a less than favorable kind of position that Slay finds themselves in, right?
True.
We have seen those clutches come through in the past, but definitely it's going to be quite a challenging play now for Slay, as the rest of the team have made that kind of rotation down towards that western bridge. But it does seem like they're now starting to kind of turn around and they're starting to head back to try and reinforce their teammate. And with that, it is going to be Mr. Vector signing off there, as he just got taken out by load shedding. So it's now just me. But either which way, right, we are going to be still looking on to see what Slay is going to be bringing on through. Liking the push coming in here from 1-9, holding a steady angle. We got Fantasy also moving in for a little bit of that reinforcement, as they don't have any clear indication as to how many players exactly are going to be pushing into this position. Of course, Kakao going to come flying on forward as Slay now steps up, picks up that first trade. Oh, gets the second one on towards 1-9, but you need health. Oh, Slay now needs to play this one super carefully. Not quite sure if he's got the meds. No! Down he goes, but fortunately for him, his teammates were moving in. Trip, however, got taken down right then and there. And with that, it is going to be an absolutely glorious play coming through for the players here of Rila Insider, as they've been able to just lay it on so thick. Matrix now going to be tending to the wounded, trying to get everyone back into contention. But it is a very unfortunate play, though, coming through for the players there from Lag, right? The entire squad now getting eliminated early on. So with that, Rila Insider, they are going to be sitting quite prettily, as they've already now been able to acquire those 4 eliminations. You can see those health bars now getting mended, looking to get themselves back into proper fighting condition. Vehicles and boxes just strewn all over the place here. But, well, yeah, they live to fight several more phases. So curious to see how far exactly they are going to be able to push on through, and whether or not they'll be successful in locking in that winner chicken dinner. Meanwhile, the players from the side here of Deset Flame are going to be exploring their options over on towards that more centered zone. But again, right, the teams still relatively spread out, as we can see up on the map there. No one looking to push up too aggressively just yet. But also looking at the spread that we've got coming through from these teams, there's a lot of potential rotational paths that they can take to get themselves into zone securely. Of course, Six now just testing out the weapons there. You can see Apex moving up along that western coastline. The players there from Art of Killing, of course, positioned up in towards the quarry itself, with the sidemen now starting to trickle in. Sleepy already making a very deep rotation, pulling up almost alongside the players here from the side of Deset Flame. So we'll just keep an eye on these teams, looking to see where they're going to be going. Meanwhile, as we can see on the outlying regions, EFX about to start their rotation. We got Sully already exploring all the way down to nearly up in towards Yasnaya, with Slime also now making that disengagement. We got Six, as well as the players there from Prophecy. And then, of course, also the players from the Predators having to rotate on through. Down in towards North George, things could take a little bit of a different swing as the teams now continue to make their way further and further forward. In fact, Sincerity are going to be looking to rotate up alongside that bridge. So we're going to be trying to see if we could have any engagements now coming through on that front, as the teams are taking a slow, steady approach, at least with regards to rotations in this first phase, right? So you can see The blue zone is going to start making its way on in, but nothing has been decided just yet. But let's see where we can go. Ooh, just as I jump away from 6, we can see the players there from SIDEMEN now pulling up right alongside them. Ooh, here we go. Pablo, Sleepy, up on the hillside. This is going to be quite the push, though, coming through from them. Oh, nice little spray. 6 finds a great opportunity up towards Pablo, but is somewhat exposed there, managing to quickly duck in behind some of that hard cover. We have not yet really seen the players here from the side of Deset Flame popping off as we know they usually do. But let's see if they'll be able to reignite that flame once again. We got Big Bunda. Big Dunder. There we go. Oh, Big Thunder. Big Thunder right here on the side. Trying to bring in a few of those smokes. Oh, but the shots now starting to connect on up. As you can see, Buden starting to move in. 6 trying to flank their way on through as well. Liking the action. How's it going to go? SIDEMEN could be in for a world of trouble here. Already losing out on that potential play coming through from Diablo. Pablo, rather. Sleepy now getting traded down. There we go. The head starting to connect on up. And this is now going to be the opportunity for the Deset Flames to just light up that feed and bring in those eliminations. 6 now continuing with their efforts. Picks up Hunter and Pablo. And now, I mean, Big Thunder. Oh, takes a few hits. Tries to get away. And see if they'll be able to be successful. Now pushing closer on towards that chopsticks position. Potentially even over in towards Gatka. Some nice evasive plays in there. But again, absolute great show of aggression coming through from the players there of the Deset Flames. Of course, now they got to contend against the side of Rila Insider, moving up from that southeastern position already. That knock being made on towards Buden. With Flacker now trying to bring in that quick assist, trying to get that res. And with that, bring them back into contention. They've got to be careful because you've got so many other teams now looking to rush up in towards the zone. You see, especially this northern position looking absolutely jam-packed. So Rila trying to make the plunge. Let's see if this one will work out for them. Maestro, meanwhile, is going to be keeping their eyes absolutely glued on towards EFX. And Deset Flame now getting absolutely pincered here as the rush has come through. 6 tries to hold on, but unfortunately is not able to survive. Rila Insider now getting ready to exchange their action here with EFX. We got Pyro and Superior, and the rest of the team now trying to mount their aggression. See where it's going to go. Will they be able to get those shots in? As we can see, several more teams starting to trickle further and further down. Big Thunder is going to be rolling all the way down to that far southern edge. A little bit of a shaky start. Let's see if EFX can bounce back. Will they be able to get those angles lined up? Meanwhile, is going to be the players there from Art of Killing, laying down their heads with that. Picking up a beautiful finish. And with that, it is going to be Big Thunder and the rest of the players from SIDEMEN now to make their way back. Of course, EFX going to be looking to wrap around the edge. There are more teams now starting to condense down in towards the zone. So the players, especially now from the side of Art of Killing, are going to have their hands full. With so many more players moving into position. EFX now trying to utilize all these audio cues. Sully also just trying to get that res up on towards Superior. Meanwhile, Pyro is going to be positioned way, way off in the distance. Not the most ideal play to be making, but, I mean, if Pyro was able to kind of line that position up, it could be absolutely fantastic. Rogue now also going to be finding a little bit of a trouble play here, as we do see Manfilla now finding that knockdown on towards Willie. Oh, Rogue trying to push up. Manfilla gets the spray. Neko also now picks up Trip. So with that, it is going to be Master to come in, crashing the party there. Neko now trying to fend off the players from Rila Insider as they're starting to push further and further forward. Slime 4KT also now stepping up into the action. We saw them now just getting a few hits there. Skull coming in with that vehicle as well. Storm sending out those nades, applying a lot of pressure on towards the players there from Uso Crimson. Not quite sure for how much longer Uso Crimson is going to be able to survive. So you can see Slime getting ready for the push. Oh, they want to get this rush locked in. Will this be the play? Up comes Zeus. Oh, nicely done. And with that, it is going to be the end of the road for Uso. Wow. Absolute aggressive push coming in here from Slime. But of course, as we join back on towards the players here from EFX, they are still going at it with the side of Rila. So Zeke and Slay, the final two hopefuls now for the team. Down to 9 we go. So we've already said goodbye to 4 teams. Oh, Professor now coming in on towards Sin there as well. So the team's definitely starting to condense up in towards this more centered possession. Let's see whether or not it is going to be a favorable play coming through now for Zeke. Has a potential play to make here. But it is, of course, then the players from Sincerity now trying to deal with the threat being presented by Apex. Desire is going to be the final hopeful. Absolutely surrounded. Is Apex now. Oh, trying to reach in. Can see Jassa coming in with a few hits of their own. Trying to maybe pick up a bit of a spray. Blessin, of course, is going to be finding that confirmation on towards thy Slay. But up comes Jassa now trying to move in alongside the rest of the team. Bring in those fortifications. Desire is going to try and make a run for it. Going to try and push all the way over towards that far eastern position. But as we can see, just up ahead is going to be none other than EFX lying in wait. So maybe with the addition of EFX coming over that hillside, right, they could actually be peering across and maybe firing a few hits up in towards Apex. And that could allow for Desire to survive an extra while longer. Speaking about surviving an extra while longer, we are going to be looking at that zone. That's going to be coming in now as well. Oh, but the nades getting sent across. And this is going to be Apex now trying to push on forward. The players from EFX not going to be hanging around, instead focusing their efforts on getting back in towards the zones. We can see that shift now coming in, taking a move all the way down towards that southeastern side, right over towards the bridge. Oh, but Apex, they are hungry for this final elimination. Of course, going to be looking to get that trade locked in. Will they succeed? Up comes the push. Oh, and unfortunately, it is going to be Desire who meets the end. Pyro, quick to step up there, trying to bring in a little bit of a third-party play. Trying to reach in from the distance. Not finding any adequate angles. At least not for now. Meanwhile, the players from Art of Killing are also going to be looking to set up a bit of a gatekeep on this very western edge of the zone. This seems like Skull is going to be looking to push a little bit further in towards the zone, so there could be somewhat of a play for them to make on that angle. Meanwhile, on the opposite end, all the way over on towards the east, it is going to be the players there from Prophecy and Slime now coming into a little bit of an altercation here. Slime was trying to bring in a more eastern rotation to get themselves situated back in towards the zone. Let's see what Draco is going to be able to do with this position. Not yet, starting to rotate away. Oh, Pronto in hot pursuit. That could be a very interesting one to make. But Draco now on the front line. Oh, down they go. They're not going to be able to survive the shots. Thirst, meanwhile, will be continuing further and further onwards. The shots now connecting up, crashing up into the tree. Could this be the end? No, Thirst quickly managing to get themselves out of harm's way, as the rest of the teams are still trying to get themselves over on towards that eastern zone. Oh, the hits connect. And that is all that's needed now for Slime to push in and potentially find that trade. Of course, Deadliest is going to be positioned up in towards that more center zone, as we can see them now holding up alongside Rila Insider. So we've got Slay and Zeke also just over towards that western position. Already, the players there from 6, they've moved down in towards Ferry Pier, looking to get themselves into a nice position. Looking to bring in a little bit of a play. And of course, we've got the players there from EFX as well as the players from Apex getting ready for a little bit of a show of aggression here. Let's see what Apex is going to be doing, as we got Blessin now just trying to huddle up behind the vehicle with Kage, Jassa on the roll. Looking to move a little bit further forward. It's going to be a very, very spread out approach indeed. So Blessin looking for that approach, looking for that safe haven to pull up into. Meanwhile, EFX now having to deal with Slime, who's moving in right alongside them. Nico, Ooh, very risky play to make. Tries to get up in the vehicle, but instead takes an absolute heap of damage. With Sully now also moving up on the opposite end. Finds the sprays on towards Zeus. Great shots landing. Now the tables could maybe be turning on towards Slime. As you can see, Sully and the rest of the squad, what is left rather of EFX, not looking to show their aggression, looking to step in. Meanwhile, the players here from Apex are also going to be taking aim on toward the Art of Killing. Manfilla taking a little bit of damage. Kage now right there on the front line, cooking up the nades, getting ready to send them across. Let's see, will they be able to get the job done? EFX, Slime facing off. Art of Killing and Apex. Ooh, Kage getting so close. Almost a successful rush over that ridge, but unfortunately gets taken right on down. Does have a little bit of reinforcement coming through here from Jassa, but Jassa so low on health, picks up Mester. Professor and Blessin trying to come to the rescue. Will they be able to make it up in time? Art of Killing also a little bit spread out, as you can see Manfilla and Zilla up on the hill. Oh, will they be able to get the jump locked in though? Up comes the rush. Oh, nice. Blessin just go into town, picking up trade after trade, but off they go. Slime for KT now going to be pushing up on towards the side here of EFX, coming through with the rush. You got Nico still holding on to that little shack. But not quite sure if it is going to be a playable position. At Zone, meanwhile, has now taken even more of a shift down towards Ferry Pier. So that is going to be presenting quite a few challenges in and of itself there. As you can see, several more teams spread out up ahead. It is going to be Nico to get traded down as Zeus hammers in. Plaza moving up for that confirmation. And a very, very satisfying performance coming through from the players here of Slime 4KT. Meanwhile, a little bit further down south, we can see the players there from EFX now trying to get themselves situated. Not a lot of positions left for these teams really to move up into. As we can see that zone now just moving further in towards Ferry Pier. We got the Deadliest, however, just up ahead here of Slime. Not quite sure whether or not they're going to actually be able to potentially bump into Deadliest. But looking at these rotations, I mean, Storm could definitely be onto something. Spots the vehicle up alongside that little shack. Up comes Pronto as well. Oh, gets in for a little bit of a higher peak. Pronto now comes in looking to capitalize on the distraction. Deadliest gets rushed by the nade as Plaza sends it in. And with that, they lock in yet another elimination. Already sitting on 9 to their name. It's an absolutely phenomenal play coming through here from the players of Slime. But will they be able to continue and keep up this momentum? Meanwhile, a little bit further down south, we can see the players here from 6 now trying to hold on as EFX has now come crashing down onto their position. You can see the players there from Art of Killing also looking to roll on through. The nades getting cooked up by Miyagi. But is that going to be a masterful play? Oh, it's going to be a rush though. Meanwhile, the players here from the Predators on the opposite end also going to be looking to find a few of those openings. We got Sage now cooking up the nades, looking to send it across up into the players from Art of Killing. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle waggle coming through on that nade. Not really the most ideal angle to take with it, but I guess it still works at the end of the day. Lynx just huddled up below Sage. Miyagi on the outlying position here. Going to be looking to move in. Coming in for a little bit of that off-angle approach. Meanwhile, remember me is going to be looking to sneak their way on through. Oh, it is Zeus to get traded on down. Plaza up ahead. Tries to get the assistance back on towards Zeus. Let's see what is going to come through here. Slime now trying to defend their position. Plaza tries to get that res on in. Meanwhile, the players from the Predators are going to be looking and turning their attention over on towards Slime. As you can see, these vehicles now coming through. Oh, Shad just narrowly missing that opportunity there. Oh, but it's still going to be such a delicate play to make. As you can see, the players here from 6 also now feeling the pressure as they are now getting rushed. Let's see, will they be able to hold on as Art of Killing move on forward? They get the trade though. Zilla has found the hit up on towards Lynx, but now all the pressure is riding on Sage's shoulders. The Predators still just dangling around on the very edge of that zone. Slime still holding up ahead of them. Not going to be looking to take that plunge anytime soon. 6 down to their final hopeful. Sage holding strong. The Predators looking to expand their options, looking for a bit of a sneak rotation. Oh, but Sage gets spotted. Down they go. The connections are made. Pyro also just going to be somewhat up ahead. Meanwhile, the players here from Art of Killing feeling the pressure come through already. 10 eliminations to their name. Pyro peeking across, trying to see if they can find a bit of a reach there. Sudi gets traded though. Master getting a quick response coming through there from Pyro's end. I'm liking this back and forth from the teams. Everyone looking to be so proactive here. Just quick to react at the moment's notice. But Pyro now trying to hold on. He's trying to get a little bit of that health boost going. The zone is going to start moving up momentarily. Meanwhile, Slime now position up and towards the north. They got the players from the side of Rila behind them. Just up ahead is going to be the Predators. So will they be able to find a good angle? Oh, but look at this, right? Rila Insider caught in the crosshairs. The blue zone is now going to catch up on towards Pyro here from EFX as well. But let's see. Oh, up comes the dash. Right, it is going to be Rila trying to make that push. Trying to get themselves back out of that blue zone. Will they succeed, though? Come on, come on. Pronto keeping a very watchful eye. Oh, meanwhile, it's going to be Pyro to come lasering on down. It was Pronto to find a quick little trade in there as well. The action now really dialing up to 30 as the teams are now just stepping out into the action, the insanity. Looking to see if they can potentially clutch it out and bring in an absolutely crazy performance. EFX down to the final hopeful, sitting on 5. We've got the players here from the Art of Killing, sitting on 12 eliminations. As you can see, Zilla now just trying to tend to their teammates. Meanwhile, the same situation is happening over on towards the Predators, but they've unfortunately not been able to find any eliminations just yet. But here we go. Let's see who will be the team to succeed. I mean, Slime definitely looking like they are in really good runnings to lock in yet another victorious, glorious performance. But will they be able to get it in though? Pyro going to be sneaking up. Very slow and cautious approach. See Slime just on the very edge. Pyro just inching their way around. Remember me now getting hit there by the side of Storm as well. Pronto making a few connections. Oh, Chad now also trying to make a bit of a play here with a buggy. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out. Remember me tries to step up and down they go. We did see a few more hits now coming through there. Spyro also got eliminated. Remember me out in the open. And it is going to be the players from Slime 4KT to pick up another winner chicken dinner. 15 eliminations to their name. Absolutely insane performance. You can hear the shots of celebration now going on in the background there. Of course, absolutely glorious play from Slime 4KT. The players there from the Predators securing themselves into second position. We got Whitey, or rather, the Art of Killing, finishing up into third position, coming in with, well, that is 13 eliminations to their name. EFX securing that fourth place, coming in with 6 eliminations. Rila Insider finishing on double digits there, 10 eliminations in fifth place. The players from 6 coming in to that 6th position once again. We got the players from Prophecy securing that 7th place finish. Apex up in 8th. We got Sincerity in 9th. The players from the side of Uso Crimson in 10th place. SIDEMEN in 11th. Then the Deset Flames out in 12th place. And of course, Lag, our first team to get sent back to the lobby. Of course, our stars of the match are going to be none other than Plaza, getting our MVP award with 6 eliminations. And then, of course, Storm getting our final hit to close off the match with a skull from the side there of Art of Killing being our best companion. So beautiful performance coming in from them. And an absolutely amazing day of gameplay coming through in our very first day of play, our very first week of play right here in our Season 10 Pro Series brought to you by Mettlestate. Some absolutely exciting action on the battlefield. And of course, it's only the start, right? We've got a few more weeks to go, so be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you have not done so already to stay up to date with all the events that are happening. And also be sure to follow Mettlestate on all their social medias. Also, a beautiful array of tournaments and so on are happening on on their website. The link is down in the description should you be interested in participating in those as well. But with that, we are going to be calling it a night. As you can see, Mr. Victor here already getting sent away as the load shedding kind of struck down and put an end in this very, very final match. But with that, it is going to be the end for us. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic evening, and we look forward to seeing you all back again next week when we continue on with even more Pro Series action. Until then, stay safe.